Hello, happy Sunday. How are we, friends? Lena, thank you so much for the 4 months. Thank you, thank you. All right. I got to figure out what's happening to my alerts. I'm being told that they might still be hot dogs. I don't know why, because I changed it back. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, that one wasn't. What the hell's going on? Purple, thank you for the 11 months. Appreciate you. Thank you, friend. What in the French toast is going on? Mama Bear, hello. What's up, Amanda? Fly Guy, welcome in. Mama Harley. Mama Cry, what's up, Cozy? Kata, what's up, Jess? Lucky, Shield, Abra, hello. All right. Well, we'll just switch it over and then we'll just figure it out. If something's wrong. If something's wrong, whatever. It'll be fine. What's the worst thing that could happen? I need a Doc meltdown on a Blood Moon today. Dude, I feel like it's been like 3 streams with our beloved Mr. Doc without Blood Moons. So we'll have to work on it and see how we do it. Juju, hello. Cozy, I'm good. How are you? Good afternoon. Good evening, friends. Hello. Little one's asleep, but I'm sure he'll be he'll be yelling. I don't want to ask about any wieners. I don't understand. I literally changed it back to my main source of alerts. Oh God. Oh God. Wait, I have an idea. Because look, that's not what the hell. What? Wait a minute. Oh, I think I know. 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 Oh, I think I know. It's because of the dual streaming stuff. Oh, that's what it is. I know it is. It has to be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right, I'll just turn off for now, I'll just turn off the alerts on the starting screen and all that jazz. Okay, that'll be fine. I gotta get the just chatting version of the dual thing figured out and all that, but we'll figure it out. It's fine. It was a good run. Oh my God. Dear Slayer, thank you for the 13 months. Thank you, friend. Lodge, how are you? Got my friend to start playing Phas. Got a Blood Moon on our second match. You lucky dog. You lucky dog. I'm going to go ahead and open Phas now just to go ahead and do it. Today is somewhat of another like test. It's a normal day, but like a testing day of just seeing if everything's working appropriately as it should be. Doc called you a Butterfinger? Well, he's a 3 Musketeer. What does he want? Is the update tomorrow? The update goes public. The update goes public on Tuesday.
Welcome back.
And then tomorrow I'll be live early in the morning with the early access of said update. Absolutely normal day. We'll pretend it is. Oh, Butterflinger. Oh. Butterflinger. What does that even mean? Butterflinger? Night, hello, friend. I'm confused if I should be offended or not. Hail, welcome in. Good to see you. It got weird. Yeah, a little bit. The next quality of life update is coming out on Tuesday. Publicly, it's coming out on Tuesday, but I will be doing an early access on Monday. How do I have early access? As a Kinetic partner, it's one of the perks. It's sort of like a extra level to the beta test. So like they have internal testing and then we do it and then we can report back anything that we see that's weird before it goes public the following day. So that is literally what we will be doing. Switch it back over to this. Hello? No? There we go. Why doesn't Doc like Blood Moons? It just makes things more difficult. That's all. It just makes things more difficult. right, change over from the sausage game, get Phasmo up. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Tell me they'll fix picking up equipment in the update. What's wrong with picking up equipment? I don't have any problems picking it up. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Arnez, 72 months. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. Arnez, thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Joe, thank you for the 14. Urza, thank you for the 11. Hello. Especially if you already answered this. Did you say if you were streaming tomorrow? Yes. Yes, Vlad, I am. I'll be live probably 7 a.m. Eastern. Is Doc joining you? I'm probably a lower level than Doc. I should probably join him. I would assume that I should probably join Doc. No, tomorrow's not update day. Tuesday. Tomorrow I'm doing early access. Yep. Does Doc have the money though? I mean, I can still provide equipment. It'll be lower tier equipment, but I can still provide some stuff. Ready when you're all. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Doc and his $20,000 tripod. I know. He got excited. To be fair to him, he got excited about the tripod, so he purchased the tripod, all right? Give the man a break. Let him breathe, all right? What up, yo? Darkness, good to see you. What's up, Landon? Tell Doc you said hi. All right, I will give him a blanket statement, hello from everybody, if that works. Because saying it individually for everybody is going to be a long day. Get excited with money? Yeah. Just a little bit. Potato, hello. Oh, not this again. Doc? Doc? Doc?
Yes? Wait, can you not see me? It must be a glitch.
It's a glitch. Hold on, I can fix it. Hold on, I know what to do. I can fix it. I can fix it. Here we go. I didn't look down, by the way, so there was no bookening there. Just side note.
There was a book. My mouth was open. Come on.
That's what you get.
Fair enough. Hey, Flash, how you doing?
Good. How's it going, sir?
Not bad. Hey, do you want me to do the equipment, or
if you'd like to, if you'd like me to just fill the gaps with some crap equipment, I can do that too.
Can we further define filling the gaps?
Well, you don't know. Listen, to be fair to you, you don't like to just do an everything truckload. You like to just get what you need. I am lazy and just hit add all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine then. Yeah. I'm all right with that. We just got to be careful with flashlights, right?
Careful with flashlights?
Oh, yeah, because didn't that cause our
issues
last time?
Sir, yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
We can't avoid that one unless you add a fourth. If you add a fourth flashlight, well, no, it won't, because the same tier, it doesn't matter. You can still pick up multiple flashlights.
Crazy town.
Yeah, it's crazy town.
Crazy
so
town.
you still have to be careful no matter what. Extremely
Roger
hello.
that. Hey, do you have any ideas for today? Anything crazy that you want to do, or?
Well, you know, I've been dealing with like lag and like stutters, and I did like a Phasmo test the other day, and it was running pretty smooth. So this is almost like another test day to see what happens.
Okay, that's fine. We don't need to do anything nuts. I'm
we
fine
can if you want to. It's up to you, boss.
Oh, it's totally up to you, Flash.
No, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind just hunting ghosts today if that's what you want to do.
No.
No, it's up to you.
All right, let's just hunt a ghost, and then
okay.
and then we'll decide what we're doing.
Roger that.
Oh my God. All right. What map are we gonna do? Oh wait, you're joining me.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's
It is your decision.
right, we're gonna go
think of the 13
Nightmare,
months shy. Think of the
and we will go to Willer Street.
get Willer
Nightmare.
Street on.
Willer Street. Is your Willer prepared? FlashForce.
Yeah, it is actually. What is wrong with him?
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
So I gotta say, before we carry on,
The reports that suggest that
okay, could you? I'm trying to talk with FlashForce. Shut up. What I thought. Idiot. So I gotta say, with the brick wall when you were flipping sausages at it, I was impressed not only that you did it successfully,
But
I was
but I
also-
stayed for an hour.
yeah, that you kept going afterward.
Listen, I wasn't
holy
about
crap.
to give up. I was not going to surrender, and I really wanted to get to the next level. And after hearing that other people had spent like 3 or 4 hours on one particular one, I'm like, all right, if I go over like, if I get like 2 hours, then I'm probably going to quit.
Hear that, folks? This is pro talk right now. This is pro biz. Killing it. Pro
Holy
biz.
man. Yeah, just another sausage in the wall. I don't know.
All in all, you're just another sausage in the wall.
The echo in the truck makes it so much better.
I'm ready. I'm grabbing the ghost hunting equipment.
Hey,
One flashlight. What? Oh, what?
You didn't do the thing.
I'm good. Case
Hey,
1091,
side
Barbara
note,
Wright.
side note.
Yes.
I
yes?
knew it sounded different. I don't hear the radio style voice from you.
For real?
No, I do not. I knew. I was like, it doesn't
So
sound
right now
as
it's just
crisp.
me doing an old-timey voice?
It's just you just
That-
talking.
Do I sound like Morgan Freeman?
Depends. Like young Morgan Freeman? Like,
No, like
Teenager?
regular old Morgan Freeman.
oh no.
Do I not sound like Morgan Freeman?
No. The disappointment.
Case 1000.
Case one, whatever stuff. Go in there. Don't
Case
die.
1091. Barbara, if it's wrong, I don't want to be right. Capture 3 unique photos with a photo camera clip. Post using it.
Oh, listen, Tiger. It's okay. Hey,
Listen,
hey, it's okay. Why don't you pick up another flashlight? That'll help. No, don't. Ha
forsooth!
Lodge, if you can hear me, friend, dude, I'm already starting to see it, Lodge. I'm gonna end it over there. Again, this is trial and error. I'm already seeing it, Lodge. I'm gonna end it over there. All right. All in all, you're just all right, we'll figure it out later. All right. We got a flashlight. We got an EMF. We got a thermo. Actually, I'm gonna drop the thermo and I'm gonna take the take one of those guys. Take one of those guys. Hey, Carrie, welcome in. Hey, what are you reading?
I'm seeing if I need to like mess with my audio.
Oh, okay. You're good. You still? I was just seeing it. Yeah, and it might be because I'm trying to do too much at once. All right, let's figure this out so we can help Doc. Juice loose. Juice. The juice is loose.
Do I sound like Morgan Freeman now, FlashForce? What?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Oh my God. There you go. You fixed it. Can't get rid of me that easily.
Okay, what's
Nice.
happening? What are we doing?
There's a mirror
What's
if
the
you want to
story?
take a little peeky.
Are you sure you want me to do that? That seems
Yeah.
like a big responsibility.
No, I can look over your shoulder and I can see the room too.
Okay.
Yeah. Just let me know when you're gonna do it. Don't go in the corner. That's not gonna be helpful. Hey,
What do you mean?
what? How am I supposed
You said
to
you
look over
wanted me
your
to look in the
shoulder?
mirror. I'm gonna look in the mirror.
No, you need to walk into the middle of the room. Oh my God.
Maybe I don't want everyone to see my personal. Oh my God.
Fine. I'm coming in.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, it's in the living room.
The living room. I knew it.
just in case. His sanity is now low. Wait, are we playing on Pro? Already put on. Oh, he put on Nightmare. We're good. Reminds me of Alistair when he does the radio voice from the Aspen Hotel.
Yes. Oh my God.
So much judgment with so little words. Just logged in. What I miss? Oh, you're good.
Dramatic pregnant pause was intimidating.
My audio. There we go. That stuff with the paramic still happens. I don't know what that audio thing is, but that happens. Ooh, it's not a mirror. We have no crucifix in there, so I'm going to go get one of those first. And then we'll see how it goes. Shazza, thank you again for the 7 months. Lunar, thank you so much for the biddies. Cav, thank you for the 13 months, dude. All right. Why don't I see the chats from over there? No, I'm messing with something. I'm messing with something.
It's really disconcerting, especially when you don't have anything in your hands for you just to walk up and stand there and stare at me.
All right. That should fix it. I wasn't able to see messages, but I should see them now. Dustin, hello. Where's the ghost with the most? I don't know. All right, let's see if that fixed it. Hopefully it did. Not the living room anymore, I guess. What do you mean not the living room anymore? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's still interacting with stuff in the living room. I don't think it's changed. All right. Oh, there's breath. We'll do one of these. Turn that light off.
Careful, Flash.
Oh, oh.
I just got a video of something. I have no idea what.
We'll take it. Oh, and another message. Oh, I got you. All right. I don't see any UVs yet, sir. Hey, get your crotch out of here. What?
Are you talking?
You don't
To
just go
me
walking
and
up
my
on a guy
crotch?
like that. Yeah, yeah. No, the goat's crotch.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you're talking to my crotch, you should.
Hey, little guy.
Hello!
All right. I don't see any freezing. Not yet. I don't see anything yet.
Okay. Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Ooh, I'm starting to see it again. Starting to see it again. 10% brightness. What the hell does that mean? No, turn your brightness up on your screen. What the hell are you talking about? Am I family friendly? I am always friendly to my family. Always and forever. I think when I'm trying to like, there's certain multi-streaming stuff, when I'm going to too many places, that's where the issues lie. So we're gonna have to be careful about that. All right, put one of those there. Yeah, it's only when I'm live. It's when I'm trying to, it's when it's rendering multiple things, yeah. All right.
Strat. What are our strats right now?
Well, have we even brought a video camera into this room yet? Oh,
Yeah. Over here, it's in the corner.
It's open. Wait, hold on. Footsies.
Ayo!
Yeah. Got it. You had a friend that had no idea that you could change brightness. Oh, that sounds like a personal problem.
Oh crap!
What are you crapping?
I failed at recording a sound because I turned off the.
Oh,
I turned
crappy
off my
slappies. EMF footprint.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get.
I'm in a little bit of a disadvantage today. I mean, a little bit more of a disadvantage than normal.
Wait, why?
So.
Why are you at a disadvantage?
So, I gotta be honest. I was playing some Hunt Showdown
Yeah.
with Glay and Epic Tight Pants,
Uh-huh.
and I knocked over my water.
Was it on your desk?
But no, my water was on the floor.
Oh.
And then when I went to try to save, my water bottle from spilling water all over the floor, completely knocked over my glass of Mountain Dew that was on the table.
So you had a bottle of,
Submerging
wait,
my
you had a
mouse.
glass of water on the floor. You had a glass of Mountain Dew on the desk.
I had a bottle of Mountain Dew on the floor.
Okay.
Okay. On the floor. And then I had a glass of Mountain Dew on the table because when I hunt in Hunt Showdown, I got to be all dewed up. And then
Right.
I
Maybe
I
you have dots, by
completely
the way.
knocked my I completely knocked my glass of Mountain Dew over. And then my mouse drowned in Mountain Dew. And my entire tabletop is sticky. Because of the Mountain Dew.
I think that'd make like a great sticker, like a computer mouse just dipped into a glass of Mountain Dew. Thank you for the follows, friends. Welcome in. Oh my god, why do we hold on? I'm gonna put this guy over here. We have dots. We have dots and UV, sir.
It's an UV, got it.
And I saw
We're
those
looking at a Banshee,
dudeskies.
a Goryo,
Wait,
an
did I get it?
Obambo.
I think we have a Phantom. I have a dot photo with no ghost in it.
Oh, did a little disappearing trick, huh? Nice.
Very sticky situation.
I'm gonna go ahead and mark it now, just in case
Alright.
I don't live.
Oh, she's coming for us. Here she comes. She's working on it. All right, I have.
Oh, here she comes.
Watch out, boy.
Into you up.
I'm gonna get a flashlight and I'm gonna go find the bone.
What?
I'm gonna go find the bone so I get another photo.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna follow you around with a smudge stick to make sure you're safe.
All right, you mean like one that looks like this? Oh, boner in the bathroom. Got it. All right, we didn't have to go very far. We got it. We're good. We Gucci.
Nice. Wait, are we done? Did we?
No.
Did we
could,
win?
we could try to get the
Oh.
we could get the audios and stuff if we want to.
I got
Worst ghost in the game, the
two
Phantom?
audios.
the
How
hell
many
is the
more
Phantom
audios
the
do we
worst
need?
ghost? I
We
mean,
need like
if 3 if we want to get perfections, you know.
Okay. Pony's powered on.
All right, we have no videos, right? Oh, we got one. You did get the object thrown the way in. Why?
I have audio of a burned crucifix.
Nice. I'll take it.
Okay.
Phantoms are great.
You gonna sell it on eBay or?
The crucifix?
Yeah.
I suppose we could.
Okay.
That would actually be interesting to see the sales of that.
I find it concerning, I think.
Ghosty, blood firelight, please. It
That
is about
sounds
to
like
try to
something- you
kill
ever
us.
watch-
Just a heads up.
Oh, roger that. Have you ever seen the show Taskmaster?
Yes, Taskmaster's great. That's a. Oh god, I'm seeing it now.
Like put something up for sale on the internet, like something completely random.
Oh, Taskmaster is so funny.
Yeah, we should set up something like that.
How do we do that? How do we do that in Phasma?
Well, here, for example, I'm gonna drop my lighter. Wait, not my flashlight. Now, I cannot leave the house.
Thank you, B. Thank you,
Without-
Natalie.
While I have the ball, and while I'm in the house, I must have the ball. Oh crap! Oh my God! Balls.
You don't have your smudge, Doc.
Gosh. Balls. I know, but I have a ball. Gosh, I got a ball.
I picked up his smudge to try to keep us alive. Why is it always you and your balls?
Wait, what do you mean? It's Billy.
What do you mean?
Call it Billy. You gotta call it
Billy.
Billy.
Billy Ball?
Yeah, Billy the ball.
Billy Ball, Billy Ball.
Whoa! Don't breathe on Billy
Holy
the ball.
shit, it's getting worse.
Butt flaps.
Difficulty, it's on Nightmare. Nice, what'd that give me? Oh, the light switch. Let's go. All right. This firelight burnout would be the one. Oh. Or, oh my God, twice. It just showed up in dots for like a heartbeat.
Oh, there!
I think I got it. Run.
Let's go. Running. Oh, wait.
Oh my God, something just popped up on my screen. I swear to fuck, I'm gonna kill.
There we go.
Oh my God, stupid cloud. All right, we got audio. Oh, Doc.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna need you to check the media, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, once. Which media are we looking at?
We're looking at the audio.
Do we not like laughter? Do we not care for
We
laughter?
don't like laughter twice.
Okay, well, it's marked for deletion. Guess we're taking the laughter out of Phasmophobia.
You're only allowed to laugh once. No laughing twice.
Okay. But
So-
how are we gonna do this?
Well, we need another sound. So we could get the hunting sound, or you want to get the
How are
hunting
we gonna
sound?
do that if I have to hold the ball?
But you don't wait. Do you have the ball right?
Where?
Do you have the ball right now?
The ball can't leave the house. The ball can't leave the house.
Okay. Well, you don't have the ball then. You're fine.
This is the rules I just
Hey,
made up.
Vincent, I'm good. Amethyst, thank you for the 16 month. Yeah, you don't have the ball. You'll be fine.
I'm gonna go grab the ball.
Here, I'll go get it. It's fine.
I can't smudge though because I have
It's
the
fine.
ball.
I'll do it. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'll get the ball.
Okay, you get the ball. I'll do this.
Remember, I have to hold the ball. Oh, good. Flash, I have to hold the ball.
Okay, hold the ball, Doc. Oh!
I was trying to hold the ball.
I couldn't see her.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't see her. It was so dark in that room and I couldn't see.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs
Hey, did
ready
you
for
keep the ball?
What happened?
Yeah, I couldn't see her. I couldn't see her to smudge.
Wait, why couldn't you see her?
Because it's a phantom. What do you mean, why couldn't I see her?
Oh, I thought it was because of the ball.
No. It's because of your large Billy ball.
Don't talk that way about Billy.
God,
Well,
dang it.
Hey, you know,
What?
sometimes we win some, sometimes we lose some, sometimes there's a gigantic blue ball. And there you have it.
I hate it here.
Okay. Well, that was a good warm-up round. Feel warm?
No, not so warm anymore. Deathly cold, sir.
Oh, little chilly, little chilly,
little chill.
little nippy, little nippy.
A little nibbly,
Okay.
that's right.
How about this? There we go.
You know what? I like that.
This will
map.
warm it up.
It's a fun map.
Let's go. Yep. It's just like a squiggle. You just gotta turn right a little bit and then go way left.
Yeah. And then you do another left and okay. Sometimes you lose and sometimes yeah. You know, it happens to the best of us. That's fine.
Prepare accordingly before starting the investigation. I've got a report specific to possible ghost sighting.
Shut your face. Thank you. I mean, yeah. Got any special
Mira.
requests for this or?
Oh, for like any special requests for like how to read it?
Yeah, for the reading of the board.
Ooh. Why don't you give us let me think. Give us a Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Case number 1092. Barbara Mills. Gotta detect a ghost presence with a motion sensor. And cleanse the area near the coast using incense. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds with a sound recorder.
That ain't
Come
bad,
on,
sir. That
come
ain't
on.
bad. That ain't bad.
Come on. Thank you. Thank
That
you.
ain't bad. The Christopher Walken trick is just you pretend that there are no commas, periods, question marks. Any of it's gone.
Yeah, just no punctuation
You just choose
whatsoever.
where to go right.
You just gotta
Detect
kind of
ghost.
wing it.
Presence with emotion. Sensor.
With a motion sensor.
I like it. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's go die. I mean, what? He doesn't have the upgraded. I'm gonna do this. What is this? Spot on. Oh, Shark, thank you so much for the follow. Hello, Mira. Thank you for the raid, friend. I'll go this way. You got married yesterday. Well, let's go, dude. Damn it. Not here.
Powers on there, superstar.
Thank you very much there, crispy critter. I panicked. I panicked. I didn't know what to do.
You just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Ghost is out back. It's setting the motion sensor light off.
Oh my God, I hate this area for the ghost.
Yeah, it's not the best. Truthful, thank you for the 14 months. Thank you, friend. Mirror's your favorite? I like the music box. Music box is my jam. Speaking of, oh, look it. She's here. But also, Josie's here. All right, I'm gonna go save my dog and then we'll be back. All right, I'm saving Josie and then I'll return.
Roger that.
Thank you for the follows. Jordan, Nicole, Hex, welcome in. How are you? I'm good. Trying to survive with Doc. We're not doing so well. As in, the last round was a bit of a pickle because Doc didn't want to let go of his balls. If you know what I mean. Oh, so close. Because of the way they have her face on this plate, it's always a pain in the ass. God! You have a dog like that. No, that is my dog. I don't have a dog like that. I have this dog. All right, you know what? She's fine. We're gonna leave her like that. All right, give me this. Give me this. Give me one of these. One of those. One of those. She is a cutie. She is a cootie. Doc, touch the piano. Doc,
Yeah?
you didn't touch the piano, did you?
No.
Okay, just checking. What one is your dog? The one I just put inside the truck.
Why? Is someone implying that I did?
No, we're just making sure. You know, just checking,
Okay,
checking the boxes, checking the boxes.
All right.
Yeah,
Not that dumb.
why are you so nervous? What's wrong?
But I would not just touch the piano all willy-nilly.
Okay, we have UV though.
Nice. Good
right.
job.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go inside and check on the couches.
Okay. Check on
They're
the
looking all right.
couches.
They're looking-
Yep, still a couch. All right, moving on.
This is one of those couches when it's like 90 degrees, you stick to it.
It's a really shiny couch. You just hear, you slide
You don't want
off
to get up
slowly.
because it's going to like rip your flesh.
Hey, Papa, thank you, dude. Appreciate you. Cyber, hello. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. When is the new update? The new update goes public on Tuesday, but I'll have early access tomorrow morning. So I will be live showing the restricted versions of Prison High School Point Hope, the fixes, the changes, all the things. All right. Smudge is definitely a mess. Sir,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
sir. Sir, yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Allie, welcome in. Hello. Oh, my God. I have an empty hand.
Hey,
What
so
the-
when the ghost is outside,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
When the ghost is outside over there, where's the best placement for the crucifix?
I mean, really, you're
Because
just
the
trying to cover
outside's
as
like a
much room as you can. And that, like, patio area, we could put 2 crucifixes that would cover that entire area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I only got one, so I can cover half
That'll be fine.
of previously
Thank you,
mentioned
Bug.
area.
Hello.
Okay.
Sky, hello. How are you? Thank you, friends. Early access to GTA 6. This ghost is... It's walking a lot. Oh my god, game. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to do too much right now. What the shit? I like planted it underneath and it like fell down. Okay.
Nailed it. Perfect.
Ghosty. Hello.
All right, so we just have UV right now, right? We don't have anything else.
Sir, yes, sir. That is it so far.
Okay.
Spirit box is going to be tough.
You know,
I can go, well, actually, wait, no, it's not. We're literally next. You know what? Here.
What?
Have a chat.
What? Wait, why did you turn up? Hello? Where are you?
Thank
How
you,
old
Sky.
are you?
Appreciate you.
Do you have a toothpick?
Cider, what's up? Kay, welcome in.
What?
Did you ask if it had a toothpick?
What? No. Seriously, do you have a toothpick? Where are you? Are you near? Are you?
No, I'm not using him as
Give me a
bait.
sign. How old are you? Why are you like this? What happened to Jimmy's left sleeve? Whoa! MF5!
I am also curious about Jimmy's left sleeve. Oh. All right. We have...
Gorio Jin Myling Obake.
All right, well, it hasn't kicked this juice yet. Give me this. I'm not gonna go do this, am I? Nope, I don't have the strength.
While you're doing that, I'm
Yes.
gonna go ahead and get a lighter.
Okay. No. Do this. Okay. I want it facing out. Stop. I should have left it alone. I should have left well enough alone. God. Because this bench is behind me. That'll do. All right, that's fine. Haven't been able to do a gin test in forever, so we'll see how that goes. Milsey, hello, friend. How are you? Jamie, thank you.
Oh, hey there, bud.
Oh, hey there, bud. Hey, try not to die there, okay, bud?
Oh, I won't be dying.
Oh, son of a bitch. Game. Chill. Oh, wait, no. Yes. What's up, Maine? How are you? How you do a gin test? Well, I mean, one way you can do it is just let the ghost hunt and then see if it sprints when it's over 3 meters away from you, when it gets line of sight. But there is another way to know that it's a gin by using the breaker. It's just a hard test to do. The test when you're using the breaker.
Got some laughter over here by the cloche.
Laugh back.
It's difficult to laugh on. Right,
What did you just start to do?
what do you mean?
You went.
I was clearing my throat. Getting ready to
Oh,
laugh.
oh, clearing it for the laughter. Oh, okay.
All right.
No, just laugh without moving your mouth at all. Like open your mouth and then don't move it again.
Okay.
Why are you using tier 1 crucies? Because that's all I have right now. Yeah. GZ, what's up, dude? Okay, what are you, the woodpecker? What the hell was that?
I was laughing with my mouth not moving. I was just doing what you told me to do.
Maddie, welcome in. All right. Galu Gin. Wait a minute. The odds of this being a Galu is extremely low because it's walked in multiple salts.
Multiple salts,
Multiple salts. Salt multiplies. How long are we live for? Probably till like 4 p.m. my time. So like a couple hours. Yeah. Well, if we make it hunt, we can do a gin / myling / obake test. If we're feeling jazzy.
We got a crucifix out here, right? Yeah.
We have 2 out there, actually. Hey, Corgi. They make Doc look elegant. What's funny is that those moths will be surrounded by that light whether the light is on or not. Actually, ooh, we have a backup smudge. Don't mind if I do. You know, we could expedite this process if we're feeling up to it, sir.
Yeah, what kind of expedition do we have?
Well, give me a second and I'll show you. One that looks like this.
Ooh.
Let me turn the upstairs light on, then we can do it.
Roger.
You have a smudge? You got a smudge? My man. All right. Let's do the things. Let's do the things.
Wait. Oh, what's our destination for hiding? Our friendly closet to the left is not open.
No, it is not. I don't know if there's official hiding back there near laundry or if we just run upstairs.
I'll check laundry real quick. I'll be right back.
I'll wait. What mode are we on? Nightmare. The ghost told Doc it was Toes hungry. Did it? Oh, wait.
Got an update on laundry.
Oh, Toes hungry. Yeah, what do we got there, bud?
We have plenty of cardboard boxes behind which we can hide our ample posteriors over.
Roger that. Let me know when you're ready if you want to be over here for it or whatever you're thinking there, bud.
I am here to protect you always. Always.
Game on.
And I will protect you always.
Oh, disgusting. It's a child.
Wait. Oh, here it comes.
Watch out, boy. It'll chew your toes. I think that might be a gin.
Was it sprinting?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Hope it doesn't find us.
Crap. It's a
Just keeping him on his toes. Just keeping him on his toes. The hunt is so long. Phew! That was close, huh?
Yeah. I don't ever bring me into a war because that fire in the hole did not go well.
It was fine. You did great. There you go.
Directly into the cardboard box that was right in front of us. Fire in the hole!
Yeah, but it still would have affected the ghost. It was close enough. Hey, Newport, what's up, dude? Husky, hello. Deer Slayer, thank you.
Way less cool than it was supposed to. Like, way
It's fine. It worked out. It's fine.
All right.
All right. I think, you know, we got to get perfect every time. It's fine.
All right. I'm this being fine with you. But
I'm
wait,
also
no,
fine with this being fine with you.
All right. I'm fine.
Are you fine?
Yeah.
My dog.
Why are we Josie
balance.
tossing?
Well, because I was trying to get her to like sit up straight, and she just has such bad posture. Oh, look at that!
Nice.
Trick shot.
I was gonna say maybe it's
Good
time to
shot.
switch to IAMs, but it looks like you nailed it.
No, we got it. We're good.
Nice.
Other side or Phas? Why do you have to pick?
Clicking the button in 3, 2, 1.
Jin.
What?
Do you steal other dog? No, I took my dog back. What are you talking about? Vet, thank you for the 46 months, man. Thank you.
Welcome back. I've got some.
I put
jobs ready
Dio.
for
What'd you put?
Wait, what? What's the deal? What?
It just felt right. I don't know. I didn't care if it was right.
Oh.
Hey, Fatal, good to see you.
Well, we did a random. That's pretty cool.
It worked out well. Do we do another random because it's treating us so well?
I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think so
mean,
too.
Wait, now selecting random. I mean, I have played this game for what, 5 years now. Selecting random, it has no like impact whatsoever on our monetary outcome. It's just for challenge sake.
It's
like,
just for the sake of not having to be decisive.
okay. I mean,
Yeah, there's no benefit. It would be actually cool if it gave you like a little boost for doing random.
yeah, that's all I want is a
Carly,
little
thank you for
boost.
the
Just give me a
4
little
months.
boost. You know, a little bit of a boost.
Little boost. You know what? There is something that can
little
give you a
boost.
boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen on the
Mountain
next
Dew?
round. Let's do the things.
Oh. Okay. All right. I am ready.
Come on.
Let us begin.
Oh, man, if we get it.
All right, we're here.
Dang
Take a
it.
look at the equipment and prepare accordingly.
I was trying to like
Start
will
the
a blood
investigation.
moon into existence, and I don't think it's going to work.
Whoever was here must have summoned the garage.
I hear rain outside though.
It is rain, but it doesn't sound like blood rain.
We don't know what
Did make a Blood Moon song, by the way, just so you're aware.
I'm very interested to hear it.
Yeah.
We leave.
It also has an introduction with John Sweeney. So that's in there as well.
I'm on. Classic John.
All right,
Sweeney.
hold on. Here we go. John Sweeney.
Case 1092, John Bradley Dixon. Detective what's that? With a parabolic microphone, capture a video of the ghost to prevent the ghost from hunting with John's weed with a crucifix.
I mean, this name is
All
not
right.
helping us much. Tell you what, it's not off. That's for sure.
Oh my God.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's a stream
I
theme.
mentioned in the Blood
Okay.
Moon song. Oh God, it's gonna be about him blaming me, isn't it? I can almost guarantee it. You have a few new streamers in your chat. Well, who are the new streamers that are in my chat that you speak of? All right. Ready? Ready.
Oh, I'm always ready.
Were you though?
Oh,
Someone standing behind you?
Yeah.
No, there's not.
what about you? You ready?
Well, let's have a quick little definition of ready.
Definition of ready. The thing that Jabba the Hutt is incapable of ever doing properly.
That is quite possibly the best definition of ready. You know, that would actually make a great, like, Chiba shirt. Like, anti-ready. You know, it would be a really great shirt. Like ready sideways with, like, one of those stamps that's, like, crossing it off, like, no, for Chiba.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing, but the power
Never
is
ready
on.
for a game. Okay, Roger.
All right, so for testing purposes, so people understand what I've been trying to do with the things and the stuff when it comes to multi-streaming, I've been trying to figure out what my stutter issues have been, and I thought that I figured it out, and I think I kind of did, but then today I went full send and decided to also do like TikTok today and everything, and it's happening again. So I don't know. Why'd I just go back in that room? So we'll figure it out piece by piece, man. It might be because I'm trying to do it through OBS instead of using like the live studio, but it's hard to say. Converting people? No, we're just giving people ideas. Hey, what's up, dude? I've heard
Is it
nothing.
in here?
I have no clue, sir. I'm gonna start checking temps, I guess.
Is it in here?
I don't know. It's 11 degrees. 10. I've heard nothing up here. I'm going back downstairs. We will see. But advice for new streamers. If I could give you some advice, and it does change depending on whether the first thing that comes to my brain is, but advice for new streamers, it's never going to be perfect. Do not wait until it's perfect to start trying to stream if you really want to try. Best thing I can tell you, make sure your audio is decent. If your audio is decent, hey, I got Brett over here in the living room, but
Did you say by the door?
the living room, bud. But yeah, don't wait for it to be perfect because it will never be perfect. Other advice I could give you would be that,
Oh, jeez.
sorry, when you're first starting out, obviously you're not going to have a lot of people in your stream to interact with, which obviously, you know, having an active chat can be extremely helpful. However, you need to make sure that you are making noise. You need to make sure that you're talking, because if somebody comes into your stream and you're not talking because nobody's chatting, then why would they want to be the one to break the ice and say hi? So I would make sure that you are just talking about whatever you're doing, whether you are doing something educational in a game, whether you are just being stupid, just explaining what's happening. You need to talk as if there is somebody there listening. Because if you don't, there are people that stream that just sit there in silence, and I will go and join the stream, and I'm not going to be the first one to talk here. Yeah. What? Why'd you walk in all slow like that?
I didn't want to stub a toe.
Oh.
Be careful.
Well, that was smart. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I do that even if I'm not streaming. It's a good practice. It's a good exercise. What the heck did I just record? Is there orbs over there? Oh no,
I don't
object
see any
throw.
with my naked eye.
Did you say I'm standing with my naked eye?
No, I don't see any with my naked eye.
Oh, okay. I'm standing with my naked eye.
With my naked eyes, oh.
Oh my god.
Are the falling rain. Na-na-na.
Here, we'll watch him from this view. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you. Welcome in. I'm trying different things when it comes to the multi stuff to figure out what works best.
Fine there, brother.
Yeah.
Ghost also stepped in the soap that didn't leave any UV footprints. FlashForce.
Gonna be 3 minutes till hut time.
Wow, that was actually really good.
Oh my god. Natalie, I know. Listen, the reason I've stopped for so long is because it's been causing issues with my game. So I'm just trying to figure out the best methods to do it. And I thought like, oh, well, I'll just use OBS and do it like this. And it's like, nope, that's not gonna fly. All right. EMF fiver, and that's all we got so far. Yeah.
Roger that.
Okay. All right, going back.
Book writing. Calling it. Book writing.
Calling it? Okay.
Yep, write it down. I mean, well, don't.
Are we gonna have an ad
I'm
break
calling
after
it.
this
Book
match?
writing.
So when I'm playing with others, it's difficult to pause for ads because I don't want to stop him for 3 minutes. So I will try to give a heads up when they're coming so you know. They're gonna happen in about 2 minutes. Oh, what now, bud? You know what, I'm gonna put this guy over here to protect our dush, so that way it doesn't spawn in the kitchen. Yeah, that makes sense. What's up, Epic? Good to see you. All right, Ghosty, he said it was gonna be writing.
Yes.
No freezing, not yet. Juju, thank you, friend.
It's going to be book writing. I told you.
Yeah, I'm banking on this.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not
hey.
book writing,
Wait, what? What?
if
There are
it's not
consequences
book
associated with
writing,
this? If it's not book writing, what? What happens?
you ever do that with the kids? Like, you ever tell them like, hey, listen, if you don't pick up your room and then just don't say anything else, you just walk away. Wait, what? What's gonna happen?
Because
What
you
do
gotta
you mean?
let you got
Suspense.
you gotta let their imagination run wild. You know.
That's right. It's like you imagine the worst
If
on
I
your
don't
own.
clean
I'm
my
not going
room.
to tell you about it.
Yeah. Hi. If you don't clean your room,
What?
if I don't clean my room, I'm not gonna get a pony crap.
I'm not going to get a holy crap. But that's all I want for Christmas. Was it? I wasn't paying attention.
Awesome. That's a very swishy ghost. You're
was a
swishing?
Swishy. It was a swishy ghost. I wasn't paying attention to the speed.
I don't know. I almost feel like it was a teensy bit fast, but,
Yeah,
but I
that's
don't know.
what it sounded like to me too. Samesies. Me,
Teensy
stick to the
tiny.
18 months. It sounded a little quick. But the question is, how quick?
Well, if it's a little.
Also, did it not hunt directly from right here?
I don't know. I was too busy running away to really pay any attention to that. I was just running.
Running, running, and running.
So, chat seems to believe that it could
Gallo.
possibly be a Galliu.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some more salt. When are me and Beard Bear gonna play this game together? When are we gonna play Phaz together? Oh, I mean, probably at some point. We were literally playing games last night. All right, I'll get some more salt in there. Spooky, thank you for the 5 months. Nettie, thank you for the follow. Brianna, welcome in. And walk it out and walk it out.
So you're saying if it's a Galliu, it's gonna run into one of these salts and like crap its pants or something, or it walked in this one.
All right, so that's not. It's not typically. I think what is tied to a Gallu, the old salt stepper crapper. Oh,
it walked in this one.
And now it's
Turn
watching
on the TV.
Wait, do we have UV?
No.
No UV. Okay. What do we? Hold on. Wait.
Book rating.
EMF 5 ultraviolet spirit box. Oh, where's the spirit box? It's over here.
That's a good question.
Where are you?
From behind.
Yep, there it is.
No, I'm not afraid.
Why'd you have to call them names?
Intensity of the moment.
Molly, thank you. What's up, Mega? How are you? Watch my
There
new
we
videos, help me
go.
Get confident, better at fast.
See,
Let's
we're
go.
fine.
Nicely done, sir. I do believe that is a galley.
Ah!
It's fine. It's fine. Relax. Relax. Oh my God! I'm trying to look at the journal. Leave us alone. It's so aggressive. We haven't done any of this.
I'm leaving.
What a jerk, dude. Tommy, good to see you. Hello.
That was the most pathetic cry of fear I think I've done.
That's okay.
Little bit of
I got the
resignation.
gist of it. I knew what you were going for. Oh
Yeah.
my God. All right. Do we want to try to get the objectives? I mean, it's parabolic. I don't know how it hasn't hit the crucifix yet, and then we can capture a video of it.
See, I
9 more
told you
cases?
that the
I
third
know, I'm
evidence was
very,
gonna
very
be
close.
UV. No one listens to me.
Wait, what about UV?
I said in the beginning it's going to be UV, and
Oh.
we were like, okay, well, we'll see. And technically, because it's Nightmare Run. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have UV.
yeah, I said it. Yeah, everyone heard me say it though that evidence would be UV. It just can't because it's Nightmare. Yeah, because that's what I said. Didn't I say writing? No, I didn't say writing. I said UV.
He said writing. My spelling bucks. Sorry. That was good timing. Wraith? No, it's a Gallo. Now the question is,
And
how
what's
does it
next
keep,
on
like,
our-
where is it hunting from that it keeps dodging the crucifix?
No. Wait, maybe it's over here by the
Monstars.
ficus. You think
All
it's by the ficus?
Well, we've got 2 crucifixes down over here now, so it should be okay.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna hide right in here.
All right. It's about to event on you in there. Hold on, give it a second.
I dare you to do your little FlashForce countdown thing. I dare
Oh
you.
yeah? Oh yeah? Do you have a number in mind? I wasn't ready. Dude.
Welcome back. There's jobs ready for you.
No way.
That wasn't an event.
I'm sorry. That crucifix is like a meter from where you're standing. How? How did that not get it?
I don't know, but it got me. I was gotten.
Doc, we need to talk. Listen, we need to have a chat.
Okay.
The title.
But do I need to do this? Do I need to do this?
No. We same level, same level.
Oh, we're doing.
Listen,
The powwow.
the title right now is Surviving Sunday with Doc. This is not going well.
Well, it's irony. It's
I guess, is it like calling a big guy tiny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I change
mean, because-
that to anti-surviving Sunday with Doc, would that
If
help?
we're being honest,
Yeah.
are people like watching?
They're probably a
For
little
me to
shocked.
survive.
Like they probably thought like, wow, I thought they were going to make it on that one.
Okay. All right. Then fine. We're not gonna die on the next one.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, we gotta take it
I trust
seriously
you.
though. No messing around. All right. Don't mess around though. Like this is straight up like ghost hunting perfection. Okay.
Okay. I
All
trust
right,
you.
No screwing around.
I trust you.
Okay. In fact, there we go.
You know what? Now I extra trust you.
Yeah. But you probably should. Don't mess around.
Okay.
All right. I'm good. I'm glad we got that established. We're not going to mess around.
I'm
Hey,
glad to.
We're not messing around. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna hit start now.
Okay.
All right.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating. There have been new reports of a cursed object nearby. This must be the reason that the ghost was summoned here. Take a look. You may be able to use it to your advantage.
What are you doing?
You did this.
What are you doing? Did what?
I spent
hope?
like 4 or 5 hours chucking sausages and you bring me here?
Not for nothing, friend. I seem to recall 500 or 600 maps that were blood moon kinetically generated.
Get your pointy little
No, you
beard-
get your
pointy
face.
little
Get
beard
your,
hairs
get your
of here.
face out of
No,
my
get
face.
your
Get
face
your
out of my
face out of
face.
my face.
Talk to Billy.
Face out of my face.
Look,
All
your
right.
balls here. Talk. Oh wait, hold on, wait. Hold on. Through your
Yes,
radio
what?
voice. Hold on. Can I make another request for this one?
Of course.
Could we get like a Arnold Schwarzenegger on this one?
I will try.
Okay.
Case 1093, Billy Hall. Detect a ghost presence with a motion sensor. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds with the sound recorder. And capture a photo of the ghost.
I think
And then get to the chopper.
I think the sound thing is it's restricting your ability because it's setting
Oh,
the
is it
tone
cutting
of
me?
your voice. Like try it without that without the radio thing.
All right. Well, it's okay. But it's like I don't know. It's like
Well, 'cause,
singing
like,
a
you're
song with my
talking normally,
shirt
but then
off.
you go to that, you're
this
like,
is-
you know, detect a ghost breath. You know, like you like the tone adjusts.
okay.
Oh.
Now, case 1093 Billy Hall. Detected ghost presence with a motion sensor. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds in the sound recorder. This will photo of the ghost.
I'm joking. I'm coughing. It sounds like Morgan Freeman has like a mouthful of food.
Arnold Freeman, yeah, it's Arnold Freeman.
All right, I like Arnold Freeman. I like it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh wait. This. Now, hey, remember,
Yeah.
we're not screwing around. That was fun in the beginning. That
It was fun in the beginning. This is
but
real now.
We're not, yeah, no more screwing around.
No more screwing around.
Okay.
Roger that. I thought y'all were doing Arnold Schwarzenegger, not Morgan Freeman. He was doing Morgan Freeman doing an impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, to be fair. Purple, thank you so much for the jewels, man. Appreciate you. Smitty, hello.
Crap.
What are you crapping? Mini-me. Now we're serious.
Turn down the power! FlashForce!
Oh!
I don't. When has he ever just gone, wow? Like, but everyone does it.
There has to be a movie somewhere where he does it. There's got to be a movie somewhere.
Total Recall when they pull that thing out of his nose. Like, I can see that being
No,
kind of
but it's, you know the scene where they're trying to strap him down. What the f is going on? Oh!
what is going on here? Wow!
You just hear, get your Ostomoz. Oh.
Wow. Who's your daddy? And
What
what
the-
does he do?
What?
Wow.
What did the lion say? Rawr. Dang it. What is the cursed possession?
Dang it, I stepped on a Lego.
Oh! Someone said he makes that sound in Running Man. Wait, when in Running Man?
I loved Running Man.
That was such a good movie. Oh.
Yes. Now.
Plane Zero. That's got to be the monkey paw. This is crap.
The writers of that film were like, okay, we got the perfect line for you.
I love it. Oh, boner jam.
Nice.
All right. That's locked. Let's go. The fight on the ice? Does he? He made that sound in Jingle All the Way when he jumps from the... Tater said that he makes that sound in Jingle All the Way when he does the raffle ball thing, like when he jumps for the raffle ball, like in the mall.
Huh?
Remember that scene in Jingle All the Way?
I don't remember it.
Oh,
That's the
Jingle,
one when
so,
he's trying to like get the doll for his
yes,
kid, right?
he's trying to get Turbo Man, but like he went to the mall and they handed out these bouncy balls, and like they were trying to hand them out and everyone was going nuts, so they threw the whole bucket into the air. I think around that time is when he made that noise, I guess.
Wait, then he didn't. So he just goes, what? And he doesn't say anything else?
All right. Oh, look how nice this is.
You're here. There's nothing I fear, and I know
No.
that
Hey,
my
hey.
heart. Yeah?
Can we get an Arnold version of that, please?
You're here. There's nothing I fear.
And I know.
And I know that my heart will go out.
Oh, that's the one.
No, it's
Honor-
really not.
We're gonna die. That whole serious talk.
Wait a minute, it was 16.
It's 16
degrees up there.
20 here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Honorable, thank you so much,
I
friend.
can't get out of it now. I'm stuck. Maybe we can hide in the locker.
Oh no! No! Yo, you know what? You know what tape I just found on VHS?
What's
what
that?
tape I just found? What movie I just found? I found Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero. I remember that.
That's okay. There was no theme song.
Yeah, there was.
No,
Last Action
no, there was not.
The first time, second time, third is a charm. Last Action Hero. Look it up. I'm telling you.
In that movie, there was no theme
It was
song.
by Def Leppard. It was by Def Leppard. Last Action Hero. I think it was
There's
Def
no
Leppard.
way
Was it Def
that
Leppard?
that was included in the movie.
Somebody, all right, chat, you're on this. Look up Last Action Hero theme song. And you'll be like,
Movie.
Last Action Hero.
Watch, it's gonna be the end credits, and I'm gonna say, "Son of a bitch."
I'm glad
Here,
we're
that
taking
trigger
this
that.
hunt seriously.
It's got to be down lower.
All right.
See you, Lynn. Have a good one. Oh my God, is it gonna be in like the front bathroom or something silly? I'm being told Last Action Hero is by Tesla.
Okay, so it wasn't.
But I was right.
So maybe we're both wrong.
All right, listen, don't try to make your wrongness less wrong by making my wrongness make it right.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Signs everywhere, signs.
Oh, it's literally right here.
I hate this game. Yep. Yep, it's literally at the front door. I hate it. Phasmophobia supposed to be scary until Doc and Flash are together. It's got its moments. This magic moment. Got a crucifix, I've got a smudge, and I got a sound recorder. What map? This is Point Hope. Point Hope. I can't wait for Restricted either. Dude, Restricted is going to be so much smaller. We thought it was going to go up to like the second bathroom or something. Wow, what a piece of shit. We thought it was going to go to like the second bathroom. No, no, no. It's going to go even lower than that. Like the wine room. Oh my Christmas! Doc! Doc! No! 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 Dang it, I forgot I got the power. All right, I'm gonna go turn the power back on.
Where are you?
It's 4-1.
What if you just heard, oh, no.
Where are you? Are you near? Are you far?
Why are you so far?
Fine.
Yeah, it's a ghost event.
I didn't get a single response when I was doing the Schwarzenegger. That did.
Look at this cheating son of a bitch.
What's he doing?
Cheating.
Ow!
No, 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 no. Dang it. All right, he wants us to get out. I think we should listen. Oh, that didn't record, did it? Okay, I hate it here. You know what? We're trying it again. Go ahead. You won't do it, nerd.
What are you trying?
Get another recording.
I'm getting a smudge, man. Enough of this noise.
Nah, you'll be fine. Go see. So this is a hiding spot, kind of. As in, you saw the ghost literally right there, yeah?
Want to bring in the darts? So you have some darts in there.
Lots of singing.
FlashForce 1! Ron, get into the shower! Get in the shower!
Get to the shower. Oh, I did drop my lighter. Where did I drop it? Oh, I see it. It's over there. Am I putting this on YouTube? I mean, it's technically already on YouTube. I'm streaming there right now. That's a nice dot you got there.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Tried to capture the essence of the sea.
Ah, the essence.
Of the sea.
Zaddy, thank you for the prime,
That's
dude.
not really good dots.
I mean, it ain't bad. On said YouTube, there we go.
There we go. These dots are gonna be way.
Yeah, them's is good dots. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, bud.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Arnold would
Mayor,
be so proud.
do you need assistance? All right.
What do we have? I gotta blow my nose.
Spirit box.
Yeah, side note though, for anybody that is looking to see the update that's coming out on Tuesday early, I will be streaming it tomorrow morning at like 7 a.m. Eastern. Just a heads up. Oh, I did. I saw that.
Dots.
We do have no.
No.
Did you meow?
It's rolling the ball.
Here, little kitty, meow. Are there drops to the update? I don't think so, unless they surprise us with them. I don't think so. I don't think it's a stalker. It definitely didn't go find us. This could be a.
Is this an intentional booking? Because come on.
No, it was unintentional. I'm literally looking at that go.
All right.
Dio, Phantom, Wraith, and a yokai.
Okay, I'm gonna set up a motion sensor for purposes.
I like it. I'm gonna grab this other crucifix. Could be a Dio, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Hey, bro, what you doing, bro? Nice. Ghosty. Where are you?
Taken away.
Where are you?
Was taken away.
Are you here?
The far reach.
Where are you?
The far reach.
Are you taking a wee? Will it answer here? Hold on. Where are you?
Taken away.
Hold on. Let's try this. Where are you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try something sneaky. Hold on. No, it's fine. That's not gonna work. Where are you?
Well, hold on. Oh.
I just wanted to see if it would work. Where are you? Where are you? It's based
Where
on
are
your
you?
location. Where are you?
Are you close?
Are you here? Where are you? Well, do we just have a really crappy Wraith? Hearing that from a distance is even better. Are you far? Ask if it's a fan of Arnold. I could do that. I'm gonna lay down some more salt and grab another smudge. Unfortunately, I think it's a Wraith and it never teleported to us.
I think it's a Wraith, bruh.
I think so too, bruh.
It just walked through the dots, bruh, and it didn't disturb the bruh.
I have hiding right there. We'll be fine. Oh my god. Doc, someone makes a very valid point.
What? Yeah? Are they saying my criers?
No. Doing these voices in like mimesis would be so funny.
That is true. true. We haven't played that one in a while.
That would be a good one to try again. It has been a minute. Alyssa, thank you so much. Tat, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Crystal, hello. Maybe it's a Stallone fan?
I want to come in there and talk to you face to face, but I'm nervous the moment I step through the threshold I'm going to get killed.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Another good point was made. What if it's not an Arnold fan? What if it's a Stallone fan? Salting ghosties? They should be, every ghostie should be seasoned. Why is it not leaving that area? Yeah.
I just did that. I did the thing again. I went into the shower, shut the door, lit a smudge, and then threw the smudge. The closed shower door just bounced back.
You take that door.
It's like kids running into glass doors.
I mean, my kids typically don't.
They don't?
No, we just leave the windows dirty enough that they see them.
Oh, I was just gonna say maybe it's just genetic, I guess.
Just thud. Oh.
Well, it doesn't make a thud. It kind of goes pong.
It's a really, really big pane of glass.
Yeah.
My
All
God.
right. Well, it's a wraith.
I like
do we
it,
need
sir.
to do anything else fantastic, or
Unless we want to
are
do the
calling this one
sounds,
out?
I'm cool with moving on.
All right.
Yeah. On to bigger, better things.
Moving on
Yeah, this is
up
Nightmare. Yeah.
to that deluxe apartment in the sky.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Easy, Rafe, dude.
Ooh, I just unlocked a tier 3 pair of bollocks.
Yeah, you tell him. Do you want me to disable my equipment?
Sure. All right.
Because you'll have better stuff. You're level 70. You're rocking over here.
All right. So the question is, do I buy a tier 3 motion sensor, tier 3 parabolics microphone?
That's up to
That's the question.
How much is the para?
One moment, please. The tier 3 pair of bollocks will cost us precisely. I say us, like it's actually our money. It will cost us 5,000.
All right.
Which will bring me down
to
to
2,000
2,000
to share. Or to spare.
Oh,
not
wait.
Share. Spare.
Well, it'll take me down to $2,454. As long as we don't die, we're fine. So yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, because the
There
tier
we go.
3
Tier 3
parabolic is pretty goated.
Yes, I agree. It's all like. Sorry.
Wow. You just went
I'm
for
gonna
it.
go away.
Hey,
I'm
make
gonna
sure
go
to
away.
change it to the tier 3 in the setup.
Oh yeah.
The next time my kids say that someone is goated, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh,
What do you mean?
man.
What was that noise? It was a goat noise, Kill. Get out of my face! I'm the goat here. I'm the goat here, Kill.
Yeah, Kill. How dare you?
Yeah, Kill.
How many goats do you hang out with, Kill?
Yeah, Kill.
Hey, Northern, good to
I
see
see
you.
those goats.
Oh my God. All right, random again.
All right.
Hi, Mr. Song.
Ready? Flash, on the count of 3, you're gonna give me your best goat.
Okay.
3, 2.
It's a goat Arnold dying. Did you hear?
We've had no reports of violence, but
Alright,
keep
no
an
worries.
eye out.
Oh,
Wait.
I didn't enable my
What?
equipment. I was doing a dying goat Arnold. I was like, why is it so empty? I didn't add the rest of this stuff. Okay. Natalie,
So
thank you for
that's
the follow.
that was
hello.
kind of a passive aggressive get good that I just heard there.
No, it was,
Why is it so
I was adding the
empty?
rest of my stuff and I forgot to add the rest of my stuff.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
ruffle.
go. Let us
ruffle
hear
your
about Paul.
feathers.
No.
No. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, you're still there. Okay. Here we go.
Case 1005, Paul Rook. Capture a video of the ghost. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds in the sound recorder and capture 3 unique photos of the photo cam.
Nice.
Wait,
what map are we doing? Oh, please, Dale.
Bleezies again. Yeah, because random has brought us back.
Random brought us right back to
Random.
bleed.
Random. Ooh, tier 2 headlight. Let's go. Nice. Chewbacca voice. What the hell? I don't know if I'll be able to hear him with this, but we'll see. We will see. Villager, hello. Hey, what'd you say there, bud?
The cursed object is a circle star.
That's disgusting. Thank you.
Roger.
When I have this on, I can't hear him, so I have to be extra careful. Piano.
I heard, you know.
Yeah, it's watching us over in the piano room. Or so
Really?
it says. Yeah, that's what it said.
Okay.
Yeah. So go watch it back. Difficulties on Nightmare. What I might do, I might suggest that we do no evidence here soon. We'll go meet him. The ghost ran into the woods. Jan, welcome in. How are you? How's it going? Trey, what up, homie? Good to see you. Oh, missed the door. Missed the door. It's a Webby. Yeah. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Are you a goat?
I am close.
The dedication. I love it. I love it.
Gotta commit to the bit. Oh, there's a hand on the floor.
What?
A hand on the floor, right here. There's a little
Well, that's
hand.
handy.
Hey, oh, it's
Set the mood for you there, bud. All right, let's get more. Morgan Goatman. Okay, would you mind doing the goat as Morgan Freeman?
Was that good? Was that good? Because I can't hear it when I'm doing it. Was that good? I don't know what is it? Was it okay?
No, it sounded like Morgan Freeman tried to do Popeye. It was like, oh man, that's fantastic. I'll send it to you later.
Go back in, flash forward.
Make sure nobody takes my paw.
Don't you worry about it. We're not gonna have any ghosties poison in the waterway.
We got orbs.
Roger that.
I will if I have to. Freeman the Sailor Man. Okay. For right now, for continual testing purposes, Talkie Ticks, I'm gonna cut things off at Talkie Ticks, but we're gonna keep streaming, okay? Again, I've been trying different things every now and then just to see what is good and what is not. I have a feeling that I know what might be the issue. Or I stay there. Okay, actually, before I cut it off, hold on. I'm gonna try another test. I won't be able to see the messages though. All right, we have orbs and nothing else so far, yeah?
Nothing else. Nothing else. Not even a little.
Not even a little schmutz?
Not even a schmutz. One salt pile, 2 salt piles.
Is there a third salt pile in here?
I put 2 next to each other by the one door, and then there should be a one near the fireplace. I could post clip links here. Yeah. Yeah, as long as they're my clips, you should be able to. I'm gonna do, I think, another book. Yeah. Vanny, thank you for the 21 months. I'm not gonna get it. Oh, bitch. Wait, did we see dots? No. No, I think it was just the dots moving. Okay. It did finally step in the salt, though.
Roger that.
Interesting. Nope, it's still causing issues. Okay. Hey, Beardy, what's up, man? All right, HR chucking stuff over there. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end things on the Talkie Tick so that way we can keep testing, okay? But I am still streaming. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Doing good, thanks. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Wait, why is that disconnected? Oh, okay. Skittles, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you, man. There we go. Okay. Continuing forward. There, do that. Hey, what do you got there, bud?
It showed up, and then it went boom, 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 boom.
If you could finish that, please.
Boom, boom, boom,
I feel like I was there. Okay, it's not that long. It's not that extended.
Okay, all right.
All right, I brought in another smudge. There's 2 smudgies over here by the door, just in case you need one.
Roger that.
All right.
I feel really safe.
That's what I like to hear. Now we're talking. All right, so let's get a little light in here real fast. So it walked in one of the salts. It has not interacted with the... Hey, do we have an EMF in here?
There's a song playing in my ears. Did you say EMF confirmed?
Yeah, no, I found... No. I was wondering if we had one in here, but I found it.
Roger that. I'll get you a bunny.
Thank you. Say he's getting me a bunny? Oh, camera. Oh, okay. I said he was getting me a bunny. Okay. Still nothing. Okay, object throw. What is the ghost doing, dude? I don't even... Oh, freezing. Oh, finally. Holy crap. Holy crapola. All right. Hantu, Onryo, Revier, Yurei. Sweet.
There's some interesting choices in there.
That's a thing. All right. Well, do we light the circle and just make it hunt at this point since it's being a ball?
I mean, we can.
I'm just saying, we can if you want to.
Okay, I trust you. I trust you.
No, I trust you.
I trust my life with you because I know you wouldn't make any decisions that would lead to my death. Trust
How many times have we lived?
Once we lived in the last one, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think we might have lived twice, actually.
So we're 500. I mean, that's like a great batting average. We're doing great.
Except it's, you know, dealing with your life.
Oh, yeah. There's that part.
F this.
Okay. All right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Josie, I'll be back for you. All right. Do we light it just enough to let it hunt?
I guess.
All right, I'm going to drain my sanity here. What if I light 2 and then you light 2?
You gotta have a lighter to do that, right?
Oh my God.
I'll be right back.
Oh. Like, I'm a little shocked. He went right for it. Imagine helping him. Oh, okay. Let's talk about that real fast. Imagine helping the person that walked to the front lobby, the front area of the house, while the ghost was hunting and did not have a lighter on hand. Please. No. No. Go ahead. Give me grief. Hey, Doc, you okay? He's probably fine. All right. I'm probably gonna try like one thing and then get out of here. It sounded like it sped up with line of sight, so I don't think it's a Hantu. Why do we have one candle in here? What the hell? I'll be right back. It's all the ghost needs. Should have given him my lighter. Okay. I thought he would have thought like, oh, the ghost is hunting. Hold on a tick. He's probably okay. Just went to a farm upstate. You're gonna go to a big farm. Oh, there's a cruci burn. You underestimate Doc. What if I do this? Hold on. Just a thought. Okay, bitch. Oh, you suck ass. It's going outside. Unless that's Doc. Doc's dancing behind me. Okay. This ghost is gonna hunt. Sounds like Vecna's behind me. I can't do this. If the ghost is in this room, what an ass. You're a Onryo, right? Out here calling it a donkey? Because it is one. Doc said look out. Okay. Thank you, Doc. I'm still getting some of the lag. See, I keep thinking like I've solved my issues, and then I run into like another problem. Interesting. I'll have to do some troubleshooting later. I wonder if I could get it to do it while I'm in the room, you know? I got stuck. Okay. Ghosty's going out here a lot. Ghosty. Is Doc dead? Yeah, Doc died. Yeah, Doc dead. Doc dead. Ben, hello, welcome in. All right, I'm probably going to go Yuri. This ghost is a butthole, and it's going to end up being an Onryo. Yeah, F it. We're bringing Doc back. All right. Whatever, dude. It's a mimic. Oh, well, if it's a mimic, we get mimicked, and that sucks. Get stuck for a half second during the loop. I was literally getting caught on the piano. We're just gonna go for it. Doc's not dead. He's become a spy. Oh, he's a spy on the other side. No, Josie can stay with this one. That's okay. This Josie needs to teach it some act right. It was a mimic.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
Well, that explains. Well, you know, it happens.
We got bamboozled.
We
Look
did
at
get
that.
bamboozled. We did. We were not getting the other evidence.
Sneaky.
Sneaky snake. Can't you resurrect it with pure love and kindness? We
Well,
can
I've got
try.
$1,509 left, so
Hell
this
yeah.
is fine. Woot woot.
Woot,
Okay.
woot.
Woot woot. All right.
Maybe we pick this one so we don't get Bleasdale again. Unless you feel
Okay.
like, unless we just like risk it for the biscuit.
I don't need any biscuits. Did you? It's up to you. If you have a
Depends where
map
the
that you would
biscuits are
love
coming
to
from.
do. Air biscuits. Air. Okay. We can do. All right. Fine with me.
All right. And then
And
after this, we're going to do
ready
no evidence, okay?
All right. I am down. I think that's a great idea. We're guaranteed to be successful. We, I mean, probably you. That's great.
Come on.
Okay.
Come
Here
on.
we go. Look, I just don't have confidence anymore. I can't.
At least it's a different map. I'll take it.
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare
That's fine.
accordingly before starting the
There he
investigation.
Hit his
There are
dog.
reports that suggest a possible ghost sighting.
Thomas Barton.
Sporty Tiger. I
Case
love that.
1095, Thomas Barton. Detect a ghost presence with a motion sensor. I will remove your theme with the ghost detector with the other sort of firelight.
Yeah. What? Got it. Sporty Tiger, I hope you're having a good weekend, friend. Good to see you. Thought it said bottom. Oh, that would actually, Thomas Bottom would actually be even better. I would not be upset. Come on, give us the mannequin room. Oh, please. Oh, please. Avrex, hello. Ben, thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate you. Also, side note, we're testing out the whole dual stream thing with like vertical and horizontal Twitch. So if you don't want to see the vertical, all you have to do is tap on your screen and click classic split in the top right. That's all you got to do. That's it. Easy peasy. Did you just touch a Nor?
I mean, I just opened the door over here.
Raindrops. Hey, look at that. Thank you for the sub, friend. Oh, okay, that was you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go and hang out with the ghosts, okay?
Occasionally, I'm a door toucher.
My uncle got 2 to 5 for that. All right, 8 degrees. Doc likes the knobs. He does like the knobs. It better be in the doll room. Boner.
In the doll.
You are a liar.
I'm telling you the truth, FlashForce. It's in the doll room.
Oh my God! No! Does Arnold like playing with dolls?
Probably.
Which one just moved? Was it you? Or was it you? Oh no. Why the doll room? Just makes it more exciting. I don't get the doll room very much. Mannequin room is really where it's at though. You're doing great, sweetie.
You do, yeah.
Thank you. I'm getting a smudge. I am 100% going in with a smudge. We'll do this and we'll do this. Yeah. We choose life. That's life. Called it. Oh, I updated the soda wheel, by the way, so it is correct with all the things in the stuff. Some people say. Oh, shit.
Wow, whoa, wait, what? Why?
That seems really early.
It does. That's disappointing.
That's
disappointed.
live. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? You're definitely angry. Les Demons, it could be. It seems really early. Run Nightmare, so I don't know what our sanity is. Have I tried the rant? Oh, Joey, it's the worst one, dude. I've done it multiple times. It is the absolute worst. Can the dolls in that room move? Oh, yeah, I was just standing in the room when it moved. Yeah. New to Twitch, I was wondering how do channel points generate? Watch time. By watching. The more you watch, the more points you get. If you're subbed, you get like times, like 1.5 times, I don't know, whatever it is. But literally following a channel and just watching the channel, you earn channel points. It's that easy. Make sure you got a smudge there, bucko.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Life is good.
Life is good. Life is great. Maverick, thank you for the follow. Cat Lover, hello. I am excited for the update. Yeah, I'm going to be playing it tomorrow. It releases to the public on Tuesday. Is that his smudge or mine? That's mine. All right, what do we got?
Ew, no! I have no interest in being your friend.
I thought I heard that.
Yeah. It was gross. I'm gonna go get salt. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Noted. We have UV.
Remember the buddy system.
Wait, what if
Hey,
it's
I'm
just
gonna be outside,
wait, how do I do the buddy system?
I mean, even though I'm outside, I'm still your buddy. Buddy.
Oh wait, is that how that works?
Yeah, yeah.
So the buddy system is just, hey, do you got a buddy? Yeah, I got a buddy. All right, sounds good.
Yeah. At least that's what all my buddies always told me.
Thank you, Smug. You know what we could also do? I could also put one of these guys in there. Grab this guy. Grab that guy. Yeah. Yeah, the ranch soda is the cursed possession. Yeah. Hard facts. Joe! Thank you for the giveaway, man. The hey, how are you stickers. If you guys do exclamation point enter, you could win free merch. Doc, it's hunting. Doc, run. Doc, run.
We're buddies!
I smudged it, buddy.
Okay. All right.
There's no hiding here. It's here.
Body system.
I'm gonna die. Doc, I love you. Oh. Holy crap. Buddy. It's freezing. I thought that was it. I thought that was curtains.
Oh, I'm so
Abra!
glad you're okay, buddy.
Ugh. It chased me up the stairs. But we have UV and freezing, sir.
We did have UV.
Yes, sir. Leaf, thank you for the 4 months. Thank you for the cat. Thank you for the 31 months. Yeah, I thought I was dead. Oh, shit. I didn't even get... I don't think we've technically checked that room for orbs either. It's a pretty cool camera spot, though.
Roger that. I'll go grab a camera from the van.
Hey, look to your
and
right. Look
I'll
to your right. Yep, there you go. Yeah, the cam. Yeah, right there.
Hey, you want me to take this? You want me to take this camera?
You can if you want to.
Is it operating well? Can you see me?
I mean, yeah, it seems to be doing okay.
Okay. Well, here, let me pick it up, and you can follow me into the room.
All right, just let us know what's going on.
I started by walking the stairs, one stair at a time. Fear creeping into my very soul. Looked into the bathroom just to make sure that there wasn't ghost feces. Turned slowly, anticipating doom. Then I made my way down the hall and looked for ghost orbs. I recorded a ghost orb! I recorded
a... And the camera's gone. He's Doc, are you okay? Doc! Leave him alone, you son of a bitch! Doc?
I'm here! I'm here!
Yes!
Buddy system!
Buddy system, let's go! Did you smudge it? Did you smudge it?
I did not smudge it.
Oh God.
I did not. All right, never mind.
Oh my God. Nice. Nicely done. Wow. That's a okay. So that's another mimic. What about your my cries?
Loads of my cry.
Let's see here. The range here. I just want to see if we can get a quick if one of the dolls will talk and we can hear it in the sound sensor.
Well, that's a good idea.
Let's give it a second. You know what? I didn't want to hear it anymore.
Wait, did it just do it? I thought it just did it.
I think it did, but I just heard just lightning just.
We're in the middle of something. Shut up.
Wait, why are you using the parabolic microphone to
Well,
listen to the
maybe
board?
to help mute the sounds around me, and then I can hear this better.
Okay.
Probably not. I think it did do it though. It's chucking stuff.
Chucking stuff?
Chucking stuff.
Okay there, HR chucking stuff.
HR chucking stuff. Come on, one more time. Okay, shutting the door.
You think?
Wait for it. Look, where's the speaker in the van?
I don't know. We still got to get this ghost to blow out a firelight.
Oh, crap. All right. All right, you still got your smudge?
I sure do.
All right,
I surely do.
let's do it.
Yep.
Chucking stuff. We're going to try. HR
Remember buddy system, okay?
Okay. Hey, I'm still your buddy. First item. Ooh, I didn't even look. Well, it's not the monkey paw. Did you get a firelight in there, bud?
Roger.
Oh shit, it's mimicking a revenant. Got it. It blew out the firelight downstairs. Of course it is. Yeah, I'm good. Sorry. Just started coughing. Hey, you better hurry up there, bud.
Right over my leg there, bud.
Hey, let's go. Ha ha ha. Still got smudge in
See,
hand.
done messing around. Done messing around.
See what
Nothing
happens when
but
we're done
nothing.
messing around. Look at that. Easy objectives. Easy.
Up in this biz.
Nice. Nice.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Found the ghost. That's nice.
No.
I was just gonna do the same thing.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Frickin' mimics, dude. Nice try.
Yeah, but that's your favorite. That's
It is
your
my
favorite, isn't it?
It is
Mimic.
my favorite. Everybody loves a mimic.
Nice. Yeah, I don't. All right, let's take a look at the board here.
Back to back, yeah.
Okay.
We should have
so
trophies for the
said
new
we were
ghost.
going
I
to
do too.
No evidence.
I do
evidence.
too.
Okay.
Okay. No Evie.
Oh wait. How do I do no evidence?
Custom.
I got to figure out which
Kit Lover,
one.
hello.
Oh, crap.
That is something I wish we had more access to. More custom, like, setting slots. Hello.
Okay. See, this is a problem for me because I never mess with customs. So
Just pick one.
Where do I? Okay. So I got one. Where do I select no evidence from?
What I would do, I would, do you see where it says preset?
Oh, wait, I got one. I got one. It says evidence given. It's a 7.05x multiplier. Yeah, we'll do this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be an adventure. I don't know what settings I actually have on there, and I didn't really take the time to read them. So.
Well, let me see. Well, as long as evidence is 0, that's really what matters.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Sanity monitor is on. Activity monitor is off. Do you want to turn the activity monitor on, or do you want to leave it off?
I can turn it on if you want it on. Do you want it on?
Sure. It's only like 0.05 or something like that. What up, MK? Love the streams. Thanks, man.
Is that under player or contract or?
It is on contract.
Activity monitor on.
Yeah.
There
There
it's
you go.
on.
Roger that.
All right. What map or what's the map biz we're doing?
Ooh, good question. Where do we feel a good no evidence run would be?
We want to get our and cheese on today?
You know what? I'm down for an and cheese.
All right.
A no Evie and cheese.
No Evie and cheese.
I'll take 2.
Waiting my whole life for this moment. And here it is.
Waiting your whole life for this?
Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
What if I saw
Got the
words?
intel.
Okay.
Looks like this is going to be a tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left in a
Hey,
hurry.
Lucas.
Blah, 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 blah. Great.
Wow, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
Case 1096, Tim Hill. Hit the ghost below the firelight. Get an average sonotar below 25%. And capture 2 unique sounds on the sound recorder.
Easy.
Easy peasy. Don't forget, no evidence.
Easy. No evidence.
No evidence.
Okay. Oh, wait. I can still use these. They're still helpful.
Absolutely. To figure out where it is? Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. You know, I'll do something very similar. Let's do that too. Man, he has a headlamp here. He doesn't even use it. Come on. John, what's up, dude?
Ah! I can't believe I forgot.
You almost forgot the honk, didn't you?
I know.
All right, juice is loose. All right, Ghosty, where are we at?
Did you just... Oh, hey, I think it's over here.
I heard that. Yeah.
It just dropped a painting on Lester's favorite seat.
Oh my god. Not Lester. Oh. I need to I need to double check on something before I go back in there. Just when I think I found it, all of a sudden it seems like the lag is back again. I'm like, what the f... Let's see. Okay. What if I have an idea. I think I have another idea. I'll be there 1 second, sir.
Okay, I'll be fine.
Let's see. Hey, bro, what you doing, bro? I'm checking Discord for something. Hold, please. All right, no, that's off. That's off. Okay, that should be fine. That should be fine. Give it that. Close that. Go there. All right, what do we got?
We got a special on jelly.
How much?
Wait, something's happening?
What happened?
It sounds like a hamster wheel.
It was the mixer.
What's the hamster doing in the mixer?
Well, it's got to work out somehow.
Gross. I don't see that anywhere on the menu at all.
Oh my god, it's also doing squirty creams. Are the temps low over here?
I got it.
No, this is no evidence.
No.
Hey, check back here. Over this way, Mr. Doc.
Over here.
Over here. Check over here.
14.1, 13.7.
Okay.
14.2.
Ah, I see breath. Thank you, Poison Ivy. There it is. Found it. Alright. Time to start moving stuff. I got the crucifix and the EMF. There's one blowout. Okay. Start narrowing ghosties down. Oh, the Ouija board's in there. Didn't even know that until I saw that. Ghosty. Off to bed. Good night, Rach. You have a good one. Does a yokai have line of sight? Well, yes, a yokai can speed up with line of sight. Yes. Interesting. Yeah, 1.5. Okay. I might go get... Oh. Hello, Bobby. Definitely not a fan of Tom, sir.
Roger.
Ghosty did not disappear. The ghost is having all kinds of fun. So we're doing no evidence. Right now, what we need to do is we need to try to dwindle down what it could possibly be. So... trying to go... see, look, this almost looks like EMF 5, but we're on a no evidence run. We literally can't get EMF 5. Our collective sanity is close to like a 65, sir. Get some salt back there.
That sounds like a warning.
Oh, what?
A warning. Oh, a warning?
Oh, a
warning.
warning. Oh, got you. Where did the other smudges go? I grabbed one. What did he do with them? Did he bring him to the door or is he hiding? Oh, they're right there. All right. Chucking more stuff.
Stuff chucker. Knew it.
Stuff chucker. Alright. Put that there. Turn those lights on over there. Doc would never hide. I don't think he would either. He's not that kind of guy.
Oh, hey, oh, not a wraith.
Alright. Probably not a Galileo either. Not 100% about that, but definitely doesn't seem like one. made another one. Let's go. All right, let's get more stuff. More stuff. To the truck. No party. Thank you so much for the follow, by the way. Hero, thank you. Going gray. Hello. I'm gonna bring more fire for this. Smudgies are in there. We don't really need the sound sensors. A parabolic never hurts. Oh, that it. Let's see. Because if the ghostie's stalking, I want to be careful that we don't get murdered. So I'll take one of these. Forgot about that. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, definitely not a Galu. 100%. All right, Galu's definitely off the table. Galu's definitely off the table. Galu, Wraith, Phantom. Okay. First item, great question. It's not the music box. It's not the mirror. How come no Galu? Because it walked in 2 things of salt.
Oh, not seeing any ghost orbs there, bro.
Roger that, bro. Oh, it's the wheat. I'm sitting here looking for the freaking curse. I can't. Jesus Christ. Heavy ass door. I'm sitting here looking for the cursed object and I totally forgot I took a picture of it. It's a Ouija board. Oh, and it's farting on me.
Ew. Oh wait, that's not an AO occasion?
It shut the power off and tried to get a soda. This ghost is a menace. Absolute menace.
You hear that? You've been dubbed a menace. What are you gonna do about it, butt flaps?
It shut off the power and I heard it get a soda. Like, what the hell?
Can't just run around getting sodies for free. I don't want a large farva.
Oh, is this what was stopping the door from opening? Oh my god, I hate it here. I want a liter of cola.
I don't want a large farva.
That look like spit to you? Yeah, it does. F it.
Feel like a real cop again.
I wrote it down on the paper. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know it's not gonna last.
Like that, huh?
Oh. Something's happening.
Oh, that was an event. Oh, what a butthole.
My immediate response was just to run 5 paces in one direction and then 5 paces back in the other direction. Because
I think that's a decent response. Wait, what else are you supposed to do?
I don't know, like go to a hiding place
Nah, overrated.
or something. Nah, okay.
Nah.
Oh, speaking of, that's gonna be fine.
Speaking of, go on. Roger that. Hide and seek, I could.
We're kind of gonna need this thing to hunt us soon, aren't we?
Yeah, probably. How
Is
old
this
are
the
you?
moment?
Goodbye. Doc, it's 82.
Wait, is it aged?
I don't
Are we saying
know.
that it's aged?
Well, no, it doesn't. It would get younger. No, it would not younger.
Get
Oh my
younger?
god. No, I know what I'm thinking of. Sorry, backwards. I was thinking about that ghost fart behind you.
I got to admit, my brain made that like dial-up modem sound when you said that.
Sorry.
Ah!
this
That's right.
sound-
Get out of here.
Does it sound like
Get outta
slightly
here.
slow?
Ah!
Like just a
I don't
touch?
know, to be honest.
It almost does. Like, I think it does.
All right, I'm gonna go stand in the ghost room.
Okay. All right, how's it going?
Okay, so far.
Okay.
Why? You thinking it's not a? You thinking it's not a thing?
I didn't get line of sight with it, so I don't know. It could be.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'm doing right now is I am aging the thing.
Yeah, you aged that bastard.
Get aged on, nerd.
Should have booked him. No, he doesn't deserve that. All right, I'll go this way. Hopefully not die. Oh, hey, a smudge. Yeah, once we get line of sight, speed up check.
My God, don't do that. I'm gonna ask the Ouija board how old it is.
Okay.
How old are you? Well, that's not good.
What? Why did he do that? Definitely sped up a line of sight. He's very sensitive about its age.
That sounded slightly fast.
Holy crackers. I mean, it did speed up a line of sight. I don't know 100% without the line of sight how fast it is. Hey, Halogen.
When you break line of sight, it doesn't go back to normal speed? Like, again,
It
I've been playing
it
this game for 5 years,
gradually,
and I don't
it
know
will
this stuff.
gradually go down. It's not like instant or anything.
Okay, well, judging from the board, this ghost is precisely 123 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
4,500. Oh, no, 45,678.
Or 90. Could be 90. Oh, wait, or it could be go. It could just be go.
Those were very, very close together. What's up, Agent? How are you?
I gotta go cross off like 5,000 ghosts. I'll be back in
Okay.
a second.
So, I need to hear it without line of sight, but now I'm feeling twins. Now I'm feeling like it's twins. It's definitely what it seems like. I thought that hunt was faster than the other one, which if that's the case, and it is faster than the other one. Yeah. So I'm getting twins feelings. You know what I mean?
Feelings. Now, does it alternates, right? Or is
Yeah,
it random
it's
which twin
random.
it does?
It is random.
Oh, that sucks.
It does sucks.
Emmons.
Hi, Flash. I'm mad. What do? I don't know. Go for a walk? What the hell kind of context is that? All right. Order up.
Oh, good idea. Good. Oh.
Hey, Shanna.
There you go. Oh,
thank
sorry.
you.
Here. Yeah. Here.
Wait, what'd you?
Wow, it really wouldn't let me drop the donut.
Oh, you tried to give me a
Wait, where did
donut.
my flashlight go? Where's my flashlight?
Well, follow the light.
Oh. it was right on the counter the whole time.
You goofball.
Nice.
That sounds slow, dude. It's not going to change right now, though. Unfortunately. Well, okay, hold on, let me think. Okay. So at 1 minute, the ghost would be fast. And then at 3, slow. And then it would alternate. Right? 1 fast, 3 slow. Right? So at 18, it would be fast. Sounds like a yikers. 17 to 19, it should be fast. And that was slow. That would be twins. I feel like it would be slower as well. So here's my thoughts there, bud.
All right, let's hear the theories. Let's drop some knowledge bombs.
So, so right now, like, kind of torn because of the speed, based either twins or Obambo. Now, with said Obambo, it changes between fast and slow every 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
But
Yeah.
the speed changes start at 1 minute. So from once it gets to 1 minute, then the ghost goes to fast. And then it alternates every 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I was looking at the 18-minute mark. At the 18-minute mark, it should have been fast, but it was slow. I'm getting a twins vibe.
Okay. So what you're saying is it's time to throw eggs at things.
Yes.
Okay. Forget how to. All right. There.
Did that help?
No, not really.
Can't wait for the update. I'm excited to see the restricted
Isn't
maps.
there a way to turn this biz on?
Yeah, you hit the burners, dude. Damn. Watch. Put the egg on there.
All I did was grab a pot.
There we go. Can't wait for restricted me either, dude. PSU, thank you for the 28. Dobie, thank you for the 7. Dobby, sorry.
Bakewell.
Bakewell. Ah, Christina Bakewell. Hey, the ghost is coming.
Is?
We're gonna be streaming early tomorrow. Yes. Yes. Yeah, now the pickle we're in is that we went past the 21-minute mark and I wasn't listening for the ghost at that point. I still think twins. But at 23 minutes, we would hear a speed change if it was an Obambo.
Holy cats, that's a bird!
Hey, what you got there, bud? You're leaking.
Just a can of the good stuff, man.
Quality cream.
There you go. This isn't the sausage game.
Yeah, so
What?
that seemed slightly fast to me.
It did seem slightly fast. Wonder if it's about to hunt again. Oh, it is hunting again. tell if it's chasing him or not. He did just smudge it though. I heard no significant drop in speed. Dead Doc, order up.
You're too good at that. I'm out of smudges at this point. Like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
pretty
nothing left.
sold on twins, sir. If we're wrong, I'll take that one, but I'm pretty sold.
Roger that.
Yeah. Let's do
Let's
this
go.
so we can do this again.
Yeah.
Why are you not working on mobile? I'm literally looking at it on my phone right now.
The twins in 3, 2, twins.
Why am I not working on mobile? As in,
Tits,
like,
action
the mobile
moves.
that's working right now, literally in front of my face? I would restart Twitch. Duh, twins. Just as I expected.
Wow, I'm back up to $5,000.
Look at
nice.
that. Easy monies, dude.
Look at that. Look at that. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Here we go. It's like an Irish Mario.
Give it.
Oh, look at that. Here we go.
I went out and I found the mushrooms. Here we go.
I found the mushrooms in the bottle.
It's in me, Lucky Charm. Okay. We going random?
Why do they always
again,
laugh when I say
or-
that? They are after me, Lucky Charms. Yeah, you know, I say we do it. No evidence random.
Full send.
I like it.
Well, or partial. Full. Full.
Quarter. Oh, okay. My favorite map is Willow. Willow is still my favorite map by far. All right. Got lucky with a edge fields. No blood moon.
Yeah.
Didn't expect to hear Leprechaun Mario. Oh, you've missed a lot.
Advanced.
All right,
Okay, here.
what would Leprechaun Mario sound like doing the intro?
Case number 1097, Kenny Doe. Take the ghost presence with a motion sensor. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds of the sound recorder. And have a member of your team. When is the ghost event?
I was expecting like
Give
a
me Lucky Charms.
I was expecting in between each one, just like a wah.
Here we go.
Paper Mario, it's a me. It's a Kenny. All right, I'm gonna go with this to check for herbs. I'm gonna go with a smudge to save my life, and a photo camera. That's the way. Bug Mom, thank you, friend. Easy orbs. Watch this. Boom, Minnick. Minnick? Minnick. Mrs. Minnick? My second grade teacher? No, I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna follow you. No, I've not hit 12K, but I'm very close. Should we get the lighter? Nah, it's overrated. Hey, the juice.
It's loose.
It's loose. Oh, are you this way?
I am.
Why'd you turn into a wicked witch?
Circle start.
I'm gonna throw up. Go, Steve. We got a bone in the nursery, friend.
Roger that.
I can hear you. It got really good.
Yeah. Oh no, Ghost, what are you doing? Ghost, stop it! What I thought, idiot.
He'll learn one day. One day. I've heard nothing, sir. I'm gonna start checking temps.
Yeah. Not a lot going on. I'm gonna go upstairs and run around.
Okay there, bud. I thought I heard a door. Did I hear a door?
I did not hear a door, but then again, I don't know what doors really sound.
Oh, like this.
I think it's a Yuri. Okay, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Eat thermometer. Oh crap, it doesn't do that anymore. Never mind.
Oh crap. Maybe it's in the basement.
Could be.
Hey Sarah, good to see you. Okay. This ghost is giving us diddly squat. Reason for that is because it might actually be down here. Hello, good to see you. Hello, 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 hello. Anything?
It's like the same temperature in the entire house.
No ghost?
There's got to be a nook or a cranny that we have yet to have investigated. Maybe the garage?
Ooh, maybe.
I'll go check the garage.
Okay.
Nah, it ain't the garage.
Okay, what room have we not checked the temps in?
Laundry?
Bathroom? Mom?
Oh, 6.7 kitchen area? Yep, laundry.
Laundry. Okay. So Ghosty's in here. Well, fine.
If the ghost is in the laundry, say dryer
No.
sheets. Sorry. If the ghost is in the laundry, say oh. If the ghost is in the laundry.
Salt.
Okay.
Crucifix. Firelight. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Oh. Alright, let's go to like there. That'll be good coverage. Do one of these guys. One of those. One of those. Oh, what the cracker. Sorry, I'm going to turn the power back on. What? Ooh, hiding. Now we run.
Hey!
Okay. 100% not a wraith. Could be a possible Galu. Oh. Goes fat. So it's not a wraith. It's not an Oni. It's not a Kormos. All right, I have not checked that room for orbs yet, so we do need to do that. Play this game for the first time last night. A few friends panicked. I mean, that makes sense. If you're playing the game for the first time, panicking definitely makes sense. Give me this. Give me this. All right, it hasn't tried to kill you, has it?
Nope, it just farted on me. Which,
oh,
well, I mean, I
sweet.
guess hepatitis is a thing.
You get those through farts?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta be breathing in.
I never knew.
Well, you know.
That's interesting. Does that not feel early? And that was the first firelight blowout, too.
He's saying.
Saying this thing is a jerk.
Oh. Well. I mean, I guess
If that helps at all.
Oh, yeah, but totally.
All right, Ghosty, do it. Aren't the Cormos blind? They
Perhaps
are.
we need to try different methods.
That's
Oh, I
fine.
think I already got that. Did I already get the crucifix burning sound?
Well, get it again. Just got a firelight blowout.
The last time I recorded the same thing twice, people got all upset.
You yelled at me.
There we go.
All right, I'm gonna F the shoes and be ready for this hunt that's about to happen.
What
'Cause it
makes you
will.
think it's about to?
Well, it's gonna eat that little pile of sticks I got over there. Here, I'll move the little pile of sticks.
It should be fine.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine till we're not fine, which is right about now. Why'd you do that?
I wanted
then?
to drop my flashlight and I dropped the wrong thing.
Oh,
That might get me killed someday, but not today.
not today.
Oh, by the way, it's gonna hunt us in 3.
It's spicy. Doc called it. He said 3 and it hunted.
Get out. Move over.
Get your beard hairs out of here.
Get over. Move over.
Watch. That's so disrespectful.
What do you mean?
You followed him after you smudged him to throw it at him.
Gotta make sure they know, otherwise they're gonna walk all over you with their spectral feet.
It's just such a jerk move. He rounded the corner with him and just chucked it. All right. That sounded pretty normal, which is really unfortunate. Now I'm going to do a somewhat of a shade test. That's so close together. Hold on. That was out there. That doesn't count. I need it to...
Where?
I guess the firelights will work if it decides to blow the firelight out. I'm just doing a shade test. Choo-choo! Thank you for the raid, friendo.
Jade test doesn't seem very exciting.
It's definitely not very exciting. No.
Hey, if you're Shade, don't do anything. Just don't do anything at all. Oh, levitating yellow cup!
It's about to
And a
hunt.
candle. No.
He's so mean about it, dude. Shit, I didn't do a timer.
Assertive. It's about being
Just so
assertive.
mean.
It's assertive. I'm being assertive.
My God.
Can't let these ghosts walk all over you, FlashForce. I thought I taught you better than that.
Okay, sorry.
the immediate laughter that followed. Like there wasn't any hesitation
I taught
whatsoever.
you better. Oh man. All right. Well, what do we got, dude?
Normal
I'd say
speeds.
shade is off the table, and it definitely feels like a normie. Blinks look normal. Speed. Little upchuckery.
It's gonna be like a freaking spirit or some noise like that.
I know.
Wait,
well,
actually,
that
that's a
can't
good
be
question.
a spirit. It hunted definitely.
Yeah.
It hunted at like 100. I mean, at 90 seconds. I'd say no to the demon.
Yeah.
Probably not a spirit or a demon. Okay. We go step over here. Geodagastica beam? No, we're not throwing enough objects. We're not throwing enough objects to slow it down that much. I don't think so. I'd say not a Galu. We haven't technically done a line of sight. Has it cut the breaker? I think it did once, yeah? You okay? Hey, there is a smudge at the front door there, bud.
After that, when I gather up my bravery, I will go and retrieve it.
Probably not that. Not a Thay, not a Revi, not a Raiju. Definitely a Normie. Male, not a Banshee, right. It'd be great to see like a shapeshift. He played the piano. That's why this happened. Where's his corpse? Doc, where's your corpse? I need to talk to it. Not a yokai. He touched the piano. That man's been warned countless times. All right. Yokai is off the table. Well, does it seem like it's changed rooms? Well, hello. Do you have anything useful over here? Oh, got one of these. It's a ghost. Hey, what up, Crow? Will he learn? No. Alright, Ghosty, are you still in that room? If not, that'd be great, actually, because then I would know... Oh, it's not a Goryo, it's moved. It's out here now. That doesn't upset me. Alright, so Goryo's off the table as well. I don't know about a mare. Put that there. Give me this. Didn't see any shapeshift. I also didn't see a shapeshift. That was at 90 seconds on the nose, by the way. So, in case we're curious if it's like a possible demon that's being an a-hole. Yeah, odds are unlikely. Odds are not. So many singing events. What do you want? Okay. I also don't think it's an Onryo because I'm pretty sure that it was near flames when it tried to hunt. I don't think so. The Oswong, that's tough to say. Just because the ghost lifted up an object with the light on doesn't mean that it was standing in that room when it lifted an object up. If it goes into a dark room and then lifts up an object that's in a lit room, any ghost can do that. Yeah. Now, Ghosty was at the front door recently. If it wanted to shut this door, I would not cry. Wait, did it half door touch earlier? Or am I thinking of a different game? Like a different round? I don't remember. I do not recall. Don't think so. Yeah, probably not an Oswong just because of the speed. Speed of the Oswong is a little bit slower, and this is definitely not. I'm gonna have to go in again. Again, probably not an Obake. I could loop it and then smudge it that way. It would be really nice if it if it flicked on a light. What is the challenge? It's just no evidence. Yeah, just no evidence. I think it's too loud for Omiling. I could be wrong. I think so. I also don't think it's a shapeshifter. It doesn't seem like it's throwing a lot. Mare Yurei, but I'm gonna leave these unchecked for now. But I'm thinking Yurei, Polti, Myling, Obake, Mare. If it's a Yurei, this would be super sweet if this idiot wanted to, you know, shut the front door. Too loud. Yeah, I think so too. Did it turn on the light? No, not yet. Stinky mare. I know, I need to leave all the lights off and allow the ghost the opportunity to turn them on. Are there specific ghosts that are more difficult than others? The ones that don't have abilities are harder, especially the average speed ghosts. They are harder. All right. I will have lights on upstairs because Ghosty is downstairs. It's gonna hunt again, and then I have an idea. Fish you. Hiding test for Oswald? No, there's no need. It's not an Oswald. Oh, hey. That looked like a lot of chuckery. Well, it can't do a Polti bomb in the middle of a hunt. Okay, I don't know which one is the ghost and which one is Doc. Oh, there's the ghost. Hey! What's up? Okay. Now, we are going to check. Doc, I don't know if you've witnessed things, if it's done this, but some of those throws upstairs seem pretty aggressive. I keep getting shocked by his body. Hi, go back over here, stupid. Here, I'm gonna give him some shoes to F. There you go, some shoes. There we go. Hopefully Ghosty's still in there. Oh, it's still cold here, bud. Holy sh... Yeah, I think it's a Polty, Doc. God. That scared the shit out of me. There's 4 different versions of a Polty bomb and what it can do. It can either A, lift all the objects up and then drop them down. B, lift the objects up and explode. C, lift the objects up and throw them directly at the player. Or D, literally just explode the items from the floor. Which I wasn't ready for and didn't expect to just immediately do it. So, yeah. Definitely a poultry though, as long as we got no orbs in there, bud. Now, unless those Orbeez outside. Oh, yeah. All right, let's go. It just did it again. There was the one where it lifts them up and then explodes. That's 2. Oh, now it just wants to show off. Wow. Of course. I love when Polties do their thing. Me too. It's a rare time to actually have them do it multiple times, for me at least.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, I was looking at it from the afterlife.
Yeah? How'd it go?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had better experiences in my time.
Your body, the way that it lifted you up to kill you, and then it left your body against the wall, so it kept like almost like a mini jump scare every time I turned the corner and you're like lifted in the air like Vecna style. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, for me, I was just standing in the corner looking really sad. Like, oh, here we are again.
Oh,
there it is again.
Here comes this one again.
Well, hey, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't win.
That.
Sometimes can be a lot of times.
No.
Well, FlashForce, it has been an esteemed honor and pleasure as
sir.
always.
Thank you.
I appreciate you tons.
No.
And if
No.
my arms were
No.
animated, I would. What?
No.
What? Whoa.
Sorry.
It's not that much fun to play with me, I promise you that.
Just because I
All right.
appreciate you. Jeez.
Oh, I appreciate you as
like
well.
it's like a
From
bow.
afar, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. There.
Yeah.
FlashForce. Oh wait, hold on. If you bow, I can dub you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get dubbed on. All right.
Wait,
hold
dub
on.
me.
Okay.
I dub you, Sir FlashForce, the protector of the shoes. Rise, brave warrior, and may your smudges be powerful, and may your will be great.
The confidence.
I ran out of room. I ran out of runway on that.
Just gotta land it.
You are the
You
best,
just gotta
sir.
land it.
You are the best.
No, I appreciate you, Mr. Dog.
Everyone-
Thank you for the games.
Likewise. Everyone, make sure you
Yes,
follow
go follow
FlashForce,
this
'cause if you
insane
don't,
man. He is so freaking
you're
fun.
gonna lose all your cool points.
Yeah,
And
you
that
will
would be a
lose your
shame.
cool points, do you? Nerds?
Yeah, you don't want to lose those cool points. All right, my friend, you're amazing.
Thank you, Mr.
Can't
Doc.
wait to do this again.
I
As
appreciate
always,
you, as always.
you're the best. And remember.
Okay. Not to remember, but to remember. Okay. Hey now. What? We're not quite done yet. We will be soon though.
Jobs ready for you.
All right. I do have ads coming. We're going to go ahead and run them. And then after that, we'll jump into another one. Okay. So I do 3 minutes of ads every hour. So that way you guys don't get pre-rolls. When I'm doing solo, I will usually stop gameplay. So that way we can just chill and talk and wait for the ads to be done. So I'm going to run them now. And then once they're done, we'll basically come right back. If the ghost is in the bathroom, say, oh, all right. There we go. Is the double flashlight feature still a thing? It is until they update the game. Yes. Which they're going to be doing a patch coming up in 2 days. So publicly on Tuesday, there will be the next quality of life update that's going to have a lot of fixes on it, but also it's going to have the restricted versions of high school, prison, and Point Hope, and it's going to give you the ability to choose what ghost you're going against in customs. So if you want to like test a certain ghost, like, oh, I want to see if this ghost has the ability to do this, you can literally pick the ghost, which is super cool. We can do restricted sausage check because the Point Hope floors, it's the main floor, it's the kitchen, and then the next floor up. Yep. Playing early tomorrow? Yes. I plan on being live at about a tiny bit before 7. I mean, close to 7 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, I'll double check that. If any of those, if that time changes, I'll let you guys know, but it should be around 7 a.m. Eastern that I'll start streaming, and I'll show the update early. With the smaller Point Hope, will that work towards the 50? That I don't know. That's a great question. The Sunny Meadows badge, the restricted version did work towards the 50 for the full, it didn't matter which Sunny you did, restricted or the other one. So maybe? That's a great question though. I don't know. Is it going to be a vid? I don't know. Unless there's something very specific I'm going into a round with, it's hard to say. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Gotta catch the vodka. 7 a.m. Eastern is 3 a.m. in Alaska. Oh my God. 7 a.m. tomorrow? Yeah, I should be Cousin Tony. Yeah. It's so funny seeing the hot dog badge. I love it. I love it. I love it. We do need to finish that game too. Or try to anyway, at least. I don't want to say finish it as if it's just going to be easy to do, because it definitely won't be. Oh my God, it's on this scene too. Shit. No, shut up. God damn it. Hold on. Why are the main alerts not on this? There they are. God dang it. I forgot I added the hot dog alerts to this. Oh, got it. It's okay. We fixed it. It's fine. It's fine. Slim, thank you so much for the gifteds, man. Thank you. Caramba. Kudo, thank you for the 4 months. There we go. Now they're fixed. The bigger maps are intimidating, so I'm excited for the restricted. For me, it's not even necessarily intimidating. It's just a lot. And sometimes it takes a really long time to go find the ghost room. Leave it, it works. No, I'm not. No. I will maybe turn them back on whenever we do that weird sausage game again. Maybe. Bigger maps are boring because they take too long. And when you're playing with other people, it makes it way less boring, right? Absolutely. I would agree with that 100%. Yeah. Ready for the variations. I'm just excited to see what they look like, and just to see how it feels to play these restricted versions of the maps, because you can act like it's restricted once you figure out where the room is on the big maps, but it doesn't work the same. You're gonna find the room so much faster. Which weird sausage game you own so many? No, it's literally called, I think, like a weird sausage game kill. I swears. It's so bland having the classrooms every turn. Yeah, I would have to agree for sure. For sure. Do we get new ghost skins? No. With this update? No, they didn't say anything about the new ghost coming out. We haven't heard anything about that ever since they talked about that early look at the Pajama Pam ghost model. Flipping the sausage onto things? Yeah, that's a tough game kill. I don't know if you've played, I guess you haven't played that yet. That's a hard game. All right. Well, I mean, it looks like for now, the dual format has been working, like having the vertical and the horizontal. It does seem to be working. So I'll leave as is for now, and we'll just see. I don't know if there's some people that like it less or like it more. I'm not really sure. The nice thing is that with having this, you do have the ability to turn it off. It's not like you have to stay with this. If you don't like the vertical, you literally click classic split and it takes you right back to what it looks like normally, where you have more of chat available to see, which is super, super nice. Is it going to be a new norm to have the vertical? We'll see. I'm doing it. So right now, Twitch is doing a promotion where if you do the dual format, there's like bonus subs. So like if somebody gifts 5, then Twitch will also gift subs, which is just super cool. So testing it, why not? There's no reason not to. Had to go to classic. It was annoying me when I even tried to type. Yeah, see, fair enough. That's what I'm saying. It just depends on how you like to watch streams. Now, the customization, you do have a lot of customization with it though, because like you can do low chat, medium chat, you can adjust it and make the chat even bigger. So like on my overlay right now, and you're on mobile, the best chat right now is medium chat because it does the entire bottom of the screen and does not cover any gameplay. So medium is definitely the better one for sure as of right now. But like I said, you always have the ability to just go to classic split if you wanted to. Now, what I wish that they do, or like did or whatever, is, which, hold on, let me see. Let me try something. It does do it. Oh, see, I was curious about that. So when you're watching vertical, right? When you're watching vertical, if you turn sideways, it will automatically adjust to the full view. And then you go back and it will literally go right back to the portrait mode again. I was wondering if they did that, and they do actually do that. So that's nice. That's nice. All right. I have a huge bonus subs panel taking up a third of my chat window and no clear way to get rid of it. Oh no. See, I didn't know that. Let's go do a nightmare at Camp Woodwind. Oh crap. Can I upgrade my equipment? Flashlights, yes. UV. Crucifix. I just haven't purchased any of this stuff. Video camera, I'm gonna have no money. All right, I have $5,000. Okay, we'll stick with that for now. Quick loadout. I like that I have tier 3 flashlight, but then tier 1 all of this because I have to. All right, let's go to Camp Woodwind. Very interesting.
All right, we're here.
Hey Purge, welcome in. Thank you. Welcome. But yeah, that's why we're testing it, man. If it's something we like, I'll keep. If it's something we don't, it doesn't bother me that we don't keep it. Yeah. Purge, thank you for the prime. Thank you, man. You just came in here. I appreciate the sub, friendo. All right, pause that. Let's go. Ooh, sunrise. I'll take it. All right, Edward Knight. We're at 11,997. I probably will not hit the 12K today. I will probably hit it tomorrow. So maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll do case 12K on like one of the restricted maps or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Escape, motion sensor, and witness a ghost event. Don't mind if we do. I prefer vertical if I'm gonna lurk more than chat, horizontal if I'm chatting more. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because it's a lot easier for you to jump into chat. For sure. Because if you're not, and you want to chat, I mean, I guess that's not that bad. You just have to click on the slow-mo thing, and then from there, you're fine. Yeah. Watching the vids on YouTube all day, watching the stream on YouTube at PS5, thought I'd use Twitch sub. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. What's up, Ren? Let's go. All right, no cards. No music box. Also miss more chat because less chats show up and they move. Yeah, that's true. You don't get to see as much on the screen. Yeah. Very, very fair. No Frank. It's you. You know what? F it. Now we can see how close the F5 is. Yeah, I have to agree. Ew, somebody in circle, but you know what, man? F it. I say F it. We're just going to do it. let's do, we're going to expedite this process. I'm not going to worry about crucifixes. We don't see that over. I have no idea where the actual ghost room is. No clue. No idea. It's going to start hunting immediately the second I do it. How much you want to bet? Salt the circle. I could. I'm going to take a photo. Ghost room's over there. Thank you. Never mind. We know where it is. Kill, help me out. Doesn't even make sense. My God, I can't switch to my smudge. Stay in the office and fill out report paperwork. I love it. It's my favorite. I love it. Possible Fae? Gas? Oh, could be. That's true. Technically, I guess it could be. The ghost is over here? What the hell? Alright, let's see what that does. I have a smudge. We'll see. It's throwing a lot of stuff. I can't believe the ghost is actually where the circle is. Zero indication that the ghost was there. None. Now, if it's a Dale to gas, it should be significantly slower. I have no crucifixes in there. By the way it was throwing so much, it's making me think Fae. Nip, thank you for the follow. Hello. They should be slightly slower. If I was near it long enough to age it. We could do a Moroi test on this next one. Myself some time so we can do a little test. Line of sight speed. I wasn't paying attention enough on that first hunt to know if it sped up with line of sight or not. Tough to say, friend. Blurm, thank you for the prime. Welcome in. And She-Wolf, thank you for the 17 months. Waiting on old hens and the smoker. Nice. We're making some chicken tonight. We're making chickens. I thought it did, so I went to the cheat sheet to see. Oh, the line of sight? Well, if you're between a Moroi and a Fae can't speed up a line of sight, but a Moroi can. Yeah. All right, smudge. We have more than enough time to get over here because of the smudge. Putting all this here, so that way whenever it does start to hunt... Shush. Hey, what's up, Abby? How are you? You thought it sped up on the last one? It definitely could have. I just might not have been paying attention. So if it did speed up a line of sight, then it's more than likely a Moroi. Why the... What the... Are the restricted maps out? No, they come out publicly on Tuesday. I'll be showing them early tomorrow, though. Still fast. Oh, that's a they. That's a they. Yeah, when you have the tier 2 smudge, it makes it a little bit easier because the smudge lasts longer on a Moroi. Pitter patter. It's a demon. What if it still was a demon? The game recognizes that Chiba's here and is like, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and give you a demon. What up, Jeebs? How's it going, sir? Chiba, are you playing the, when are you playing the sausage game again? Bet $1.50 it is. That might be a little too rich for my blood there, sir. Just a little too rich. We're not even going to F around with this. We're going to go Thay and get out of here. Play it again tomorrow. Nice. We'll see. I don't know when I'm going to do it again. It's a great question. Hey, Poet, what's up?
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
Yeah. Ghosty that fast. It didn't speed up whenever. It didn't slow down when we took Sanity. And also, it didn't speed up with line of sight. I think it's just the other times I didn't have a long enough line of sight for us to notice. It was too close to us. But there we go. You have a green screen. Great. All right. What time is it? 4:18. I might be able to sneak one more in here. I'm going to sneak one more in here. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to use the cursed possession immediately. Let's go. Rob, I'm doing well. How are you?
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
Let's do the things.
There have been new reports of a cursed object nearby. This must be the reason that the ghost was summoned.
Don't you lick me, Chiba.
Take a look.
Sir.
Be able to use it.
Chaotic, what up, homie? Can I tell your mom happy birthday? Happy birthday, your mother. You could have at least told me your name. Damn, dude. Damn. All right, let's go. Grant. This better not. If the game is bugged and this is case 12K, I swear to God. Okay. Grant Bishop, Crucifix, Sound Recorder, and Repel. I'm literally one game away from 12,000. Okay. Let's go in here and use the cursed possession. I don't need you. But maybe we'll find it early. Ghosty. Power's upstairs. I like it. Alright, no paw. It's a very loud door. I don't see a circle. I also don't see a board. Oh, it's a mirror. All right. Well, we're using it. Oh, we're in here. All right. Happy birthday, strangers, mom. Question is, does she watch the stream? Because if she doesn't, and I'm wishing her happy birthday, it's just it's weird at that point. All right, give me this. Give me this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put dots in there. What if I could see the dots through the mirror? I think you can. I just haven't seen it in a long time. Ghost, you like puzzles? Was that Norm? I heard Norm. I heard it. All right, let's go in here. It's so flat-footed, Jesus. Wait a minute. Is this a Cormos? It's going in the basement. I can't check. Son of a bitch. So you heard the speed? I think the speed is what told me that it was a Cormos. Son of a bitch. All right, let's go get another smudge. It's going to hunt us again. That's what we want. Give. We don't care about that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, Hawk. You guys want to just no, I have not. I'll check Discord after stream though. For sure. Creamy superstar. Lovely. God damn it. Ay, 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 ay. Can't wait for the ghost to sprint at you now. It's not going to. It's going to start hunting, come down this hallway, and go to the kitchen. Watch. Just patience. Patience. My sanity's tanked because I looked in the mirror enough and broke it. Told you. How many retro consoles do I have? Let me think. 10? 9 or 10, I think. Maybe, no, maybe 8. No, 9 including the Game Boy. See that? He heard me from all the way over there. I like the Cormos too. When you don't know it's a Cormos, it really F's with you because you keep moving and it keeps following you around. But when you do know, it's nice. Nice. That's a Cormos. 15 including the handhelds. Nice. The only handheld one that I have that's retro would be the Game Boy. What is considered retro? I mean, would you consider an Xbox 360 retro? Mimic is better than the Cormos because it can become the Cormos. Oh, I will forever like the Mimic more than any other ghost. Oh, for sure. Da Cormos. Nice. You know what? We could do one more like that where we do go use the cursed possession. Let's do it. You'd consider it retro? I probably would too at this point. I mean, when did the 360 come out? Oh, I can't. Or if I, whatever I do, then my next investigation is case 12,000. Oh, I can't do it. We're just gonna, we can't. I don't have enough time. Yeah, I'll hit case 12K. We can't do it. 360 came out in 05. So, I mean, 21 years ago. Would retro be over 20 years ago? I feel old if the 360 is retro. I mean, it's inevitable at this point, man. Retro for me is Commander Plus. Okay. It's old enough to legally drink, right? You about the 360 being retro made my knees pop. Listen, I have my 360. I need to get the disc tray fixed. It's not read or the sensor. Huh? I've got to get the reader fixed because it's not recognizing discs. 20 years ago, basically in 2005, would you consider right? In 05, would you consider a console from 84 retro? Because I would too. Yeah. What's the shirt? Oh. It is my Plushies Attack shirt. Yeah. The Commodore 64. My God. My God. All right. Yeah. We can't do another investigation because if we do, then it'll be the time. Hello,
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
How you doing? I'm just up. Have you?
Yeah.
I do know. Ask. Have you? Awesome. I got you, boo-boo. Love you. Sure. I know, Car. I know. What? Thank you. Love you. Little Miss FlashForce. Yeah. She's like, did you know that Pappy and Mama are coming over? And did you know they're bringing pie? I said, yeah, I'm very well aware. She did. No, the beans, I need to buy more. I need to fill the thing. But she took the leftover beans that she had and put them inside of the container. What kind? Blueberry. Blueberry pie. I don't get blueberry pie very often. It's delish though. I was playing SNES today. I was playing it not long ago. I was firing it up just to make sure, like, occasionally I'll fire up the old consoles just to make sure that everything's working properly. So I was playing Donkey Kong Country not long ago. Definitely not long ago. All fruit pies are great. I would have to agree. I'm not even a big cherry guy, like cherries in general, but cherry pie, yum. Cherry pie, yum. Does my family watch the streams? Occasionally. It depends. Sometimes my wife will come in here and check in and just see how things are going. The kiddos, they don't really as much, obviously, because I don't let them. Love Donkey Kong. I love it. The music. It's one of the most memorable, like, retro gaming soundtracks for me. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, our next case in the game is going to be case 12,000. I've got to think of something special. Because it's, well, shit. It's literally going to be the first case we do tomorrow. So I'll be doing case 12,000 at 7 a.m. in the morning. Well, I've got to figure that out, I guess. So I'm going live tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern. Ooh, you know, which restricted am I going to do? That's a great point. 12 time for 12K? Ooh, that could be good. I could do like 12 time for 12K at like prison or something. Like prison restricted. That could be good. I like that idea, Carrie. And I can figure that out in the morning. Yeah, I like that. That could be fun. Or I could do restricted high school. I mean, I could. This is true. 12 times at Brownstone. I mean, oh, but do I want it to be remembering high school? Random. Aldi, I swear. 7 in the morning after dropping the kiddos off. Yeah. Put the restrictor on a wheel. Nah, I'll just pick one. Yeah, I'll have early access tomorrow, and then it'll come out publicly on Tuesday. Yeah, so we'll be doing all the things. No matter what we do, I'll be showing all of them tomorrow. It's just which one we do first because it's a big game. Yeah, Shark Bait, thank you for the 16 months. Thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate you. So yeah. If you're not already following, make sure you turn on notifications so that way you get when I go live. Or if you're in the Discord, I ping that as well. Point Hope could be possible. Listen, now that it's restricted and we know we can't get the top, I'm not against that, actually. Avocado. Thanks. So Point Hope could also be a good one. I'm kind of liking that idea more and more. Yeah. So we'll mess with the settings tomorrow morning, and then we'll figure out what it is that we're going to do. Yeah. I like it. Crazy. Thank you for the 3 months. Welcome back. Can't wait for the restricted. Me either. I can't wait to mess around with picking what ghost we want to mess with. That'll be cool. Whenever we need it, it's just available in there. I dig, man. All right, YouTube, I'm going to end it so we can go find someone to raid. Appreciate you. All right, let me stop. I say that. I always say it no matter what, but I mean, I know where I'm going. It doesn't matter. All right, stop raids for an hour. Yada, yada. Okay. Do this. Avocado. Thank you, Nocturne. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day as well. Thank you. I need to mess with the vertical scene when it comes to this, the just chatting. I do need to mess with that. If I go studio mode and I duplicate this, hold on. Well, this won't screw with things, will it? So if I do just chatting, and then maybe I move. Oh, shit. Hold on. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll take that guy. I could increase that guy to there. And then lock that in. Take that background image. Make it larger. Oh, I'll need to add like another one. That'd probably be fine for now, though. Yeah, that works. It's fine. I'm messing with it. That puts it like right above chat. Yeah, that works. See ya, Tiny. Have a good one, friend. Yeah. I'm going to go grill up some chicken. All right, I'll mess with that later. Okay. Tie that to the linked scenes. Cam no game. There we go. So now, when I switch to that scene, when I switch to the starting one, it goes to the starting screen. When I go to this one, it goes to the chatting one. When I go to this one, it goes to that one. There we go. Cool. Groovy. Fixed it. Grill me up a piece of chicken. I got you. I'll ask the missus if I can send it in the mail. Enjoy the pie. Oh, I'm excited. Izzy was like, and I think she's going to get ice cream too. So game on. Wish you an amazing week. You too, Makito. I hope you have a good one, friend. I will be live, friends, at 7 a.m. Eastern. And then, not to mention, I will be streaming in the morning, probably till like lunch, if not a little bit after. And then I will also be live tomorrow night. So I'll be streaming twice tomorrow. So plenty of opportunity to come hang out and check out the new stuff. I've got to go back through the list of new things that are being added. So we'll figure it all out and see what we're going to do. But thank you guys so much for being here, friends. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the love today. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time. If you are a follower, that one's for you. If you're a sub, the next one's for you. Creepy Tier 3, that is for you, friends. I appreciate you all. Much love. Thank you for everything. I'll see you later. Bye.